Hey everyone, GameHounds podcast. We are here. And wait, I think he's on this side of me. Andrew.
I'm waving. You can't see it,
Yeah.
but I'm waving.
I see it. I
Um,
see it. Yeah.
yeah, sorry again, we are late, but we're on time. We start our shows about 12:20 because that's who we are. Nick doesn't actually show up until 12:05. I'm always
No,
here 20 minutes early.
I showed up on time. Oh
No,
wait, I
you
do need to
didn't.
finish my banners though.
Exactly, you're not ready.
Hang on.
So,
Let me add a game.
we do have Andrew again, thank goodness. Oh no, I made myself 4 o'clock in the morning. I rolled over and started craving spaghetti. Don't know why. It's actually made a bowl of spaghetti right before the show, and it's sitting right there. And I have like 3 bites, and my body is like, eat all that. Don't know why.
Um, I hope AC Wraith links spaghetti somewhere. I don't.
Just the Wikipedia of spaghetti.
He is going to link the Wikipedia for spaghetti.
Now he is. Yeah, definitely.
Actually, what you should do
So
is
wait, you woke up at
link
4
a
a.m.
recipe for spaghetti.
But wait, you woke up at 4 a.m. craving spaghetti. Why are you just eating it now?
Because I woke up, then I went back to sleep.
Okay.
Woke up at like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
9:30.
Woke up, walked the dogs, came over here, did some stuff around here, started the spaghetti before we got on the show. Spaghetti got done after we were already sitting in the room, in the green room. And now I had like 3 bites before the show.
I
Now I'm
can't.
just
How
imagining.
do you get up at 9:30 but you don't eat the thing you want until 12:30? That's crazy.
It is a little crazy.
Why? What I wasn't going to make spaghetti at his house because then it would take me an extra half hour and I don't have that. I could do that half hour here.
Just wake up and eat it when you wake up. Take the dogs out, have breakfast, have
Just eat
spaghetti
spaghetti while
breakfast.
you're
Make
walking.
the spaghetti and he doesn't have spaghetti. He doesn't have spaghetti sauce. I
Ah,
had spaghetti sauce here.
Okay, so you had to
In
come
my
here.
freezer, all I had to do was defrost my homemade spaghetti
there we
sauce.
go.
Okay, well, yes, there's the link to
Thank
Joe
you.
Joe
Mama.
Mama's
Thank
world
you.
famous
Joe
spaghetti.
Mama's world famous spaghetti. I am going to make that. That's my
I
next because I just finished up my last batch of homemade spaghetti. I will try that spaghetti. I will review it. Joe
Edie,
Mama's world famous spaghetti on food.com.
I'm just imagining you waking up in a cold sweat, just spaghetti.
Yeah, just wake up. Spaghetti.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
It was kind of like that where I rolled over and I'm like, oh man, there's spaghetti in my freezer. Oh man, I could really go for a bowl of spaghetti.
Okay, what kind of spaghetti? Not just pasta. Like would like rotini or penne
No,
fit?
spaghetti
Okay, it had to be spaghetti.
with meat sauce.
How thick of the noodles? Like
Spaghetti only comes in one noodle. This
no,
noodle.
there's
This
angel hair. There's
No, that angel hair is angel hair. Spaghetti is spaghetti. You
okay,
can get
spaghetti is the
spaghetti, you
actual
can
thing.
get spaghettini.
I'm with Nick here. To me, when
Rigatoni
someone says
is its own
spaghetti,
pasta.
it is just noodle, meat sauce,
Yeah,
and
I think
meat.
I thought spaghetti was just the noodle, but there's like angel hair spaghetti, and then
No.
there's like another type of spaghetti that's thicker, but I forget the name of that one.
No, those angel hair is angel hair. Spaghetti is spaghetti. There's spaghettini, which is between angel hair and spaghetti.
I think there's thick spaghetti. I think that's a thing.
I forget what the thick spaghetti is called. That's another name. There's the spaghetti that's kind of got ridges on the edge of it. That's got a totally different name. That's good for carbonara.
Oh, I believe it's spaghettioni is the thick
Spaghettini.
spaghettioni. I've never heard of that.
Welcome
There's
to
the
GameHounds,
spaghetti.
where we discuss
There's a spaghetti with the hole through it. There actually is
Welcome to
hollow
Pasta
spaghetti.
Hounds, the Pasta Hounds,
pasta
where we discuss the best pasta shapes.
What is the
Have you
best pasta
seen
shape?
the tentacle pastas?
I'm a fan of the.
Tentacle pasta?
It's like someone created a new pasta shape that looks like tentacles in that it's a little curve, but it's got like little suction cups on it because they're like, oh, This, it's forkable because you can stick a fork in it and get it, but it's got enough crevices that it holds a lot of
Holds the
sauce really
sauce.
well. So they're like, we scientifically created the best pasta shape.
Well,
As a,
to honor us actually talking about spaghetti, I will have a bite.
Okay.
as a Midwesterner, my culinary palate demands SpongeBob shaped pasta. This is the best pasta.
Okay.
The SpaghettiOs pasta.
Yes, that one works too. That's a solid contender. But no,
So I
I'm
have
thinking
SpaghettiOs are
a
great.
copycat. I have a copycat recipe for this spaghettio sauce. It's actually really good. So sweet. But I
I mean,
made
yeah, that's what
lasagna
SpaghettiOs
with
are.
it. It was the best lasagna I've ever made. It's like mostly sugar. It's obscene.
Naturally.
Hey, Ko-Fi plays. How you doing? All right, so we should talk about games. Let's start the show.
Oh, yeah, sure. Whatever. Yeah.
That's a lot of
maybe.
stuff I'm going to have to cut out of the
that was the
What?
end
the
of
audio.
You can.
the
Don't you dare cut that. Don't you dare touch that.
All right, your wish
Pasta
is my
Hounds is
command.
shutting down after one episode.
Yep. 6 minutes is how long Pasta Hounds lasted.
Let's start the show.
This podcast discusses video games, pop culture, and technology, and these podcasters have big, fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom said to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 809. We are recording this on February 15th, 2026. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Nick DiNicola and Andrew Smith. See, I didn't stutter that time.
Almost.
So, how are you guys doing? How was your week?
Very good.
Yeah, not bad.
I'm going to give you a little just visiting. Maybe. There you go. There you are. I just give you a subhead on yours, so you're fine. So,
Okay, well, we stopped the Pasta Hounds so that we could switch to Movie Hounds because you were really excited to start the show because you said you had a movie to review.
yes, let me put the banner in. Shoot, what was the name of the movie?
Well, I don't know.
Dracula. Iron Lung.
Oh, there we go. I got it. I couldn't remember the first part of
Teenage
it.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Avengers Endgame.
Avengers Doomsday. Early copy. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, and then
yes.
she's gone.
Oh, no. Audio. We can't hear you. No. Yes.
Nope. Still nothing. And this has been Movie Hounds.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Okay. No. I don't know what is it. Okay. Clearly, this is the AI not wanting you to talk about Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't
Oh,
Die.
there you go. And you're still muted. It's red.
I don't
There.
know. You're muted.
No. Oh, she's gone.
How is that possible? Can you look at the computer settings to see if something got muted?
Oh, she just muted herself and
Okay, yeah,
StreamYard.
that's fine. Like, yeah, mute and then unmute. You could try unplugging it and plugging it back in. I can't hear. What is?
And yeah, and now that's been Movie Hounds. Movie Hounds is now dead.
Movie Hounds lasted 3 minutes,
Yeah, there was less to say than pasta.
which is funny because I did see that movie too, and that was a fun, bizarre ass movie.
Oh man, I haven't seen a movie in forever. I'm kind of sad I missed the chance to go see Iron Lung.
Yeah, I mean, you could get it when it comes out on physical media. I'm sure he'll do something like that.
I thought he mentioned he was gonna like just put it on his YouTube channel.
Oh,
At
that
some
would
point.
also work. Yeah. I would love to like buy a Blu-ray of that because like I said, I really loved it and I would like a chance to see it again.
Yeah.
Well, I guess while she's doing that, I saw a movie called Crime 101, which is like just a simple crime thriller with uh Chris Hemsworth and wow, AC Ray. Christy Nome has a lower
you should
rate
put that
of
on. We'll be put on a
killing
list somewhere.
counts.
Yikes.
Yeah, but it was a very good movie. Crime 101 is good. It's a like straightforward crime thriller, but it's very stylish. It's got great acting, great plot, surprisingly tense for like just people kind of all scheming around one goal and everyone, they all circle each other until they all come together in the head. Very good. I recommend it. But I guess what have you been playing? We'll now get into GameHounds.
Yes.
Movie Hounds is on pause.
It's on indefinite hiatus as of right now. Honestly, not too much. I've been doing a little bit of the Helldivers event that's been going on. I don't know if you pay attention to Helldivers 2 at all.
I know that there was a big update with like an attack on the robot homeworld.
Yes, Cyberstan, or at least what they think Cyberstan is. They don't actually know, so like that can move. Yes, there's an order that for us to attack this Cyberstan, the robot homeworld, and they brought out like new like tank units and some cyborgs. So now there's robot people. Meaty robots, I guess.
Meat bots, people bots.
Yeah. Not much to say other than there's a order to like do to extract from a certain number of missions, and they had to roll back some of the like progress people have made because they found out that some people were just doing packet losses so that the game kept registering that they were winning over and over again and inflating the numbers. So that got pushed back. There's not much to say about Helldivers 2 other than it's still fun.
Yeah, Helldivers is great. One of the things now that I got the big SSD and I can install more than 5 games, I reinstalled Helldivers 2 just so I have it always available.
Yeah, it's also surprisingly held up like player count wise.
Okay.
Oh.
I have no idea.
Hey,
you're back.
What happens? I don't know what happens. Just all of a sudden, I don't do anything, and I have to restart my laptop.
Something gets flicked somewhere.
No, I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to talk about what I'm so excited about.
Okay, well, hang on. Andrew's finishing up talking about Helldivers.
It's pretty much that. I want to say more, but honestly, like Helldivers hasn't changed. If you played it before, there's more stuff, more guns. There's the current order, but like the gameplay loop is so solid, that it hasn't changed. It's the same. I've been using the warp pack, and that's a lot of fun. They added a hammer like a sledgehammer that you can put a explosive tip on and just like start like attacking people with.
Okay, that's cool.
It's a great time.
Is the narrative still the same about, trying to save the world? Because I mean, people were really into the story,
Yes, we fight for democracy.
For democracy.
Yeah.
So that hasn't changed, which I loved that about that.
No, it wasn't democracy. We fight for managed democracy.
True.
There's a difference.
And we are taking the fight to the socialist machines on Cyberstan.
Cyberstan, is that where we're at right now?
That's the homeworld of the yes, and we're attacking it currently. Look, I love the meta narrative, and it's fun to like role play the like fascism. It just sucks that real life ruins that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it works in the game. I'd be a little worried about the movie. It's
yeah,
I don't know about the timing of that.
Nazis were a lot more fun when they weren't real.
Well, I mean, we've always been real, but I know I take your.
What do you mean we've always been real?
No,
the truth comes out.
Are you a Nazi?
I said they've always been real.
Oh.
Andrew Smith has been canceled from the GameHounds podcast. He's dead.
Yeah. We are a Nazi-free podcast. I will say that. It used to be I could say that and not think that it's like, ooh, that's a political statement.
Anyways, movies. Back to
Movies. Good luck. Have fun. Don't die. Saw it last night. You should see it. It's really
Yeah.
good.
I did. I saw that one of my typical movie time. I really enjoyed that one.
Mm-hmm.
Gore Verbinski.
Gore Verbinski,
Gore
Sam
Verbinski
Rockwell.
has a tendency to make like really fun, weird movies.
It is a very fun, very weird movie. It's almost Terry Gilliam-esque in how weird it is.
Yeah. Well, it's oh my god. It gets so pitch dark, fucked up at times. Of like these women meet in a police station. Oh, did you lose your kid in a school shooting? Yeah,
This
so
is
did
our
we.
fourth.
Yeah, okay, don't worry. This is our fourth. You get used to it. And it's like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But then it's also genuinely wacky at
Mhm.
times, almost like a Looney Tunes, like a violent Looney Tunes.
Right. And there's enough like fucked up nightmare fuel. The creature at the end, fucked up nightmare fuel but it's fucked up nightmare fuel that you laugh at and are still repulsed by.
Yeah. The way that it's structured, like this guy comes into a diner and says, I'm from the future. I need to recruit some of you people to help me save the world.
And I've been back here 137 times, and I need to get the right combination of people. And it's the right combination of you 35 people.
Yeah.
And I've done this. Who's with me to save the world? And somebody raised his hand. He goes, no, Bob, you're a nightmare. Fuck you. I'm not taking you. So some other.
And the way it's structured, the group that he goes with, it kind of flashes back to show what they were doing before they entered the diner. And it does a really good job of, some weird stuff happens to them, or they say something that is then referenced in another person's flashback. And you're like, someone mentions sabbatical, and then someone else mentions sabbatical. And you're like, wait a minute. And you can kind of start piecing together this larger surreal world.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it doesn't really do that. It's not explicit in its world building, but it just drops these little breadcrumbs that let you build the bigger picture.
Right. And it drops the little breadcrumbs on, it's a familiar society, but obviously a little different than our real society, but enough things about it, especially social media and our obsession with our phones, which is kind of the root of it all, that you go, oh, that's sort of what we're doing. And you walk, sure enough, Chris, I'm sitting on the left, Chris is in the middle, Claire's on the other side of Chris. And Chris goes, yep, everybody all the kids on their phones, just like for real. And I'm like, yep, we're not too far off from that. And we look over at Claire, and Claire's like this. Sitting in the movie theater after the movie. And we look at her and go, Claire, Jesus, you're the fucking movie. Anyway, great movie. Please see it. Sam Rockwell is genius. He plays, that could have gone a character very wrong. It's somewhere between crazy, insane, and kind of like prescient, alluring. He plays that right down the middle of crazy and like being repulsed, and also loving him a lot. Does a good job.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I want to review a game, actually.
Okay.
Before the last bit of
and now we lose
Movie
Andrew.
Hounds.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, no, Movie Hounds.
Movie Hounds.
Did you hear that Dungeon Crawler Carl is getting a TV adaptation or movie?
Oh,
are you kidding?
Yeah,
are you
actually
fucking with me?
No,
That's
apparently,
awesome.
I'm looking it up now. I didn't know that. Back in 2024, the rights were bought by Universal International Studios and Seth MacFarlane's Fuzzy Door. and they've been working on like a TV adaptation.
Oh my God.
I feel like he'd be a
Matt
good fit for
Dinniman.
that
Holy shit, that's so
because
great for him.
he's done a lot of work with good adaptations. He was one of the guys that
given,
shepherded The Boys. Like The Boys exist because of him.
And given McFarlane's zeitgeist, who he is, and knowing the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, he could do such a good job.
He seems like a good fit for something like this.
Yeah. In fact, good luck, have fun, don't die in that zany, wacky, kind of fucked up world is zany, wacky story, but also incredibly fucked up and horrifying in the way that good luck, have fun, don't die is. That's what Dungeon Crawler Carl is like.
Okay, so Gore Verbinski, his next project is
Gore Verbinski could do a very good job on Dungeon Crawler Carl. So,
is that his next project?
No, but
it
Seth
should be.
MacFarlane could
You're hearing
do
it here first. Gore, if you're watching.
Gore, read. No, just go read the series, dude. Just go read the series. You will love it. But Seth MacFarlane could do a really, really, really good job in that. I just hope he doesn't lean. Well, The Boys is a bit like that too, where there's enough fucked up stuff, but also a level of humor, recognizing a humor to it.
It's a serious show that knows when to be serious, but is also like a gory, violent satire of modern politics.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is the best news you could have given me, Andrew.
I thought you'd like that one.
Yes. And now you all have to read Dungeon Crawler Carl series because it's really good.
Surprising, there's not a lot of articles about this. I think it's the Screen Rant one that I got seen referenced, but apparently the acquisition happened in 2024. So if they've been working on production for a little while now, it may not be that far out.
Or it could be like,
we just picked up the rights. True.
Yeah.
And by the way, the fans of the series are called donut holes. And if you read the series, you'll understand why. Games. I did play a new game. I have acquired your news resolution, Nick. I am trying to play a new game every week. Now, I can't always play it like an actual computer game or a console game, but I can play mobile games.
Hey, I was talking about Simulacra the other day.
Thank God. By the way, if you're not using it, Netflix Games is fucking awesome.
It actually is. They've got a pretty impressive catalog.
It's a great catalog, and you get it all for free with your Netflix subscription. So I leaned into that, and I played Polytopia on mobile. And I should pull this up so that you can see it because I lost my YouTube link here. Let me pull it up. Polytopia is a top-down. It's
like a strategy game.
Gameplay. Yeah, it is. It's a kind of war game in that you are building a city building game. You build your city. You build assets to the city like forges and things, and you have to mine and you have to gather and you have to hunt, but you build military units. And in this world, you have to kind of discover things around all the things around you. And as you're discovering things around you, you may find abandoned villages, which is how you expand your nation. And sorry, I'm trying to type and
here, I got it.
Yeah,
I'm looking it
up.
Have
you got it? Yeah, pull it. Oh, you got it. There we go. So it's isometric. And I said top down. It's isometric, and your land masses are very small, and there's lots and lots of water. But you run across other players, and you can choose whether it's 1 to 3. Actually, it can go up to
Oh,
very high, up to
player?
15. But when you start, you can only go up to 3. But you can sign treaties and make friends so that you can start wars with the next guy because you want his cities. And the whole point is to grow and take over everything.
It
There
kinda
is
look-
also an endless mode that you can play, but and you have a limited amount of movement in each of your units. Any unit can go into battle. You are limited by resources by what they call stars. Stars run everything. Stars are what you pay for to build your units, to build your cities, to expand your cities, and to buy technology. The technology tree is very short. Eventually you run out of technology, which is great. That means you have everything, and then you can use all of your stars for expansion or warfare. And it's just a really, there's the technology tree that you saw. It's a really just fun game to but I almost missed my my stop on Caltrain because I got into this. It's one of those games that you get into and you're just playing. It's like one more turn. And it is turn-based. You have your turn and then you have to okay, end your turn and then everybody else can do their stuff.
Okay.
kinda-
So
it
is
kinda
it only
Go ahead.
multiplayer?
No, I played a single player
Oh, okay.
with bots, playing against bots.
Okay, yeah.
But you
Um,
can play multiplayer.
It kind of looks like a low graphics Age of Empires meets Civilization.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Certainly not as deep as Civilization, certainly not as involved as Age of Empires, but it's a great mobile game. And
It captures that same feeling.
I've been playing other mobile games. In fact, today I just downloaded Roller Coaster Tycoon from Netflix, and I was astounded at how difficult it is to play, how it is not a good game on mobile because
Mm,
it just doesn't have the
the
controls, like
interface? Yeah.
actually trying to click on the right spot to make something happen. That's really hard in Roller Coaster Tycoon on mobile, but it's very easy. So it's not too deep, it's not too hard to learn, but it gets your competitive juices up so that you just get into it. And you can stop it at any time. It's constantly saving. So you don't have to worry about going back and saving from a different spot. You can quit at any time and then come back to that campaign. Overall, I love this game to the point of where I have to not play this game because it could take I ran my battery out 3 times when I first started playing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, AC Wraith says it's overwhelmingly positive on Steam and apparently has cross-platform multiplayer as well.
Yeah.
Wow, it's cross-platform to mobile
And
as well? Wow,
I
that's
guess
impressive.
at some point in the past it was one of the Epic Store freebies. So if
Oh,
you were on the trigger with those, I don't think any of us were.
Mhm.
You probably already own it.
I'm glad you're experiencing strategy game time dilation. It is something I'm very used to. Like I can't play Stellaris anymore, which is like a 4X
Yeah.
space game because hours,
Yeah.
dozens
Well,
of hours just gone.
that's what happened to me with Crusader Kings. Crusader Kings was if you sat me down when I was deep in it, if you sat me down in front of it with a cup of coffee in the morning, it would be 2:00 in the morning before I'd go, man, I'm hungry.
Back in the day, I would play Total War Shogun 2 with a buddy of mine. We'd
Mhm.
literally start 2 p.m. and he'd be falling asleep at 6 a.m. in the morning,
Oh God.
10 a.m. in the morning, because we just wouldn't stop.
I get
It's a great
that.
time.
Yeah, this is a perfect game for just one more round, and then
Okay,
I'll
if
stop.
I
Just
if
one
I
more
can
round.
recommend you something that might just make things worse, a game called Into the Breach. It is a free Netflix game. It's a purely single player turn based game It's like you and these giant mechs fighting these giant aliens, and it's like takes place in a little grid, and you need to destroy the aliens without destroying like civilian buildings.
What is this called?
Into the breach. But what's neat about the game is it plays like a chess match, because whatever move you make, the game tells you exactly what's going to happen afterwards. So like if you hit this alien, this will happen and this will happen and this will happen. So you're kind of making fully informed decisions about every move that you make. And so it turns into like this chess match of, okay, what am I going to do? I can see what he's going to do if I do that. So I'm trying to think another move ahead, and I'm going to do that. And it's just a very, very excellently done, deceptively simple turn-based game that works really good on mobile.
And I have I played this? I think I have played this.
Okay.
I either played it or I watched it played. Yeah, I think I have played it. Yeah, this was a fun game. I knew it sounded familiar when you were talking about it.
Yeah, it came out a couple years ago and it's been really popular.
Yeah, it is another very fun game like that. But I was looking for something that was kind of a sim building game, and although there is an element of building to Polytopia, it's also an element of warfare. I mean, ultimately, that is the end goal, is to grow your empire, grow your nation, and wipe out all other nations. So there is warfare involved, but it also is building in that way that civilization is like that.
You know what? I just opened the Netflix app. You know what they also have in their game section? World of Goo.
They have World of Goo. They have Polytopia. Yeah. Sorry, they have Oxenfree.
Yeah, and Oxenfree too. That was Netflix produced until I think the studio separated from them.
They have a lot of good games. And a lot of, like chess games, which kind of sucks. I really wish that they wouldn't, but I recognize a lot of people do like these solitaire games. All the old folks like
them. They also have a ton of like choose your own adventure based on Netflix things. Lots of Stranger Things games, lots of Love is Blind games. How do I get to the game section? It used to be like just a row, but it's not anymore.
Oh, that's what it is on mine. It's a row.
It's that they've been shutting down those studios.
They must have updated something, and now it's not a row, and now there is a row, but it says My List, and I know that they have more games than this.
Yeah, My List is just stuff that you've added or that you've hearted or something.
Oh, immortality. If you want to feel,
I saw that.
If you want to feel like you're going insane, and like I'm digging down a rabbit hole that I shouldn't go down. Immortality.
Yeah, I saw Immortality. I almost downloaded it. I'm like, I kind of want to have a sim building game. That's why I downloaded it.
Yeah, it's not that. Do you remember Her Story? It's from the same developer.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I had to close the
a lot of good stuff.
Door.
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, Polytopia. If you haven't played it, it's been around for quite some time. Really, really, really good on mobile. All right, so that's my review for the week. You, Nick?
I will finally talk about Karen. And not Karen as in, the annoying
I'll
woman.
pull up Karen.
Okay, you got. I've got
things.
I've got a video right here.
All right, I got it right here.
I started off really loving this game because I do think it's a great game. The central mechanic is genuinely amazing. It's a climbing game that's like a really sim climbing game where you control each of your limbs. So when you go up to the wall, you choose, I'm going to put my hand here. I'm going to put my other hand here. I'm going to put my feet here. And it's got this like really good stamina system where
Mhm.
if you put too much weight on one limb, it starts to shake, and that gets really intense. Like, oh god, oh god, oh god, I need a rest. And when you're climbing the wall, it's so fantastic because that's a good system. It has this automatic limb selection where by default it will choose what limb you move next. And usually that's really good. Sometimes that's like, no, I want to move my left leg, and it keeps choosing other limbs. But you also have manual limb selection. So if that happens, you can just choose, yeah, I want to move the left leg and move that. But it creates these, just like climbing a mountain, climbing this wall, using this system is so much fun. It's so compelling, and it's so fucking hard. Some of the mountains that you try to climb, you look up and you go, okay, I think I can reach that point. Or I think that's a handhold. Is that a handhold? I guess I'll try to get up there and find it. And then you're like, okay, there's a handhold that's just a little bit too far from me. So I'm going to put my feet up against it. They're not on anything. But if I move fast enough, I can like with my feet up and then grab a handhold, put my feet in an actual handhold and be safe. Or like I can just kind of scramble a little bit to the top. And at a certain point, at any point, you can stick a piston into the wall. And
Piton.
if you see, yeah,
Piton.
Piton, you're right. Yeah. If you see the rope coming down off of her, that
Mhm.
is like where the last piton was entered. And that axe has a kind of checkpoint. So if she falls, then she gets into that. But you can also, oh, here she is putting one in right now. But if you wait too long, you could fall, swing from the piton, from the rope, smack into another wall, and then you're like, well, now I've lost half my health and I don't know what's going on. Oh god. But you're limited with the number of pitons you can use. When you try to put one in, there's a little mini game associated with it. And if you fail that mini game, it breaks. So you could have broken pitons that you then have to camp to recover. So that kind of limits the number of checkpoints you can do. And overall, like I found the act of climbing the mountain to be so compelling and interesting. Like it's just a really good puzzle. Unfortunately, there's a lot of other stuff in the game too. Yeah. Oh god, that happens
Yeah.
so often.
Watching the footage, it's just the moment to moment is so tense.
Oh, it
Like,
really is. It really is. Especially when you start seeing her limbs shake.
in Bitters, it's called Karen.
Oh, yes, Karen. Cairn. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. This is Karen.
But what I don't like about it are all of the survival elements. Because this is a survival game. You have thirst, hunger, and heat. And in the video, you can see the little triangle up in the top left is red. And that means that her thirst is really low. You can take a swig from your canteen while you're on the mountain, but that's limited. You can only take 4 drinks from that. And so that's a limited number of thirst that you can recover from while you're on the mountain. And if you do that, you have to recover that water, which means you have to find a lake or a waterfall somewhere to recover it from. And very early on, there was a section where I had to go a pretty long time before I found any water. So the character is just like slowly getting thirstier and thirstier and thirstier. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, I've climbed this mountain. There's no body of water here. There's no body of water down there. I guess I have to keep going up, but going up makes her even more thirsty. And it feels like you get into this, like any survival game, you get into this downward spiral of resources. I was able to recover from that because I did climb and got some water, but my thirst was like all the way down. And so I was losing health every single time that I was climbing. And like those are always things to keep track of. Your hunger and thirst are always ticking down. And they tick down at a pretty quick rate so that you do always have to Like you have to keep drinking, you have to keep eating. These are things that you have to keep track of. And I've never really been a big fan of the survival mechanics. And in this game specifically, which is so much about like slowly climbing a mountain, look around, find the right route to the top, that takes time. You're walking around, you're looking at the mountain, you're slowly climbing the mountain, you're rappelling down when you get stuck to look for another thing. And all those things just eat up resources. And so I feel like the survival kind of butts heads with the mechanics because the survival elements kind of push you to go to the top as fast as you can. Just climb, climb, climb. But the game actively rewards you for taking the time to explore the area around you. There's a whole story that it's telling about like this civilization that kind of lived on this mountain and what it was like for them to live vertically. You can pick up some notes of people saying, what is life like horizontally? Oh, you can travel by things like cars and bikes. There are wheels. It's like, oh, what is life like on the ground? And it's interesting. But I don't really care about that because the hunger mechanics are just forcing me to go, go, go. And so I feel like that's kind of taking away from everything else. The other narrative element is that as you climb, you'll get messages from people back home, specifically your girlfriend, who's like, I don't know why you had to do this. Like, I don't really want to distract you, but because I should say, the premise of the game is you're this woman climbing this unclimbable mountain. You are going to scale this mountain that nobody has ever scaled before. Nobody has ever reached the top before, and you're going to do it. And you're like this kind of world famous climber. So you've got your agent calling, saying, hey, could we send a camera with you? Could you document some of your climb as you're doing this? Because like this is a big deal. You begin the game with the camera that's broken and you can recycle it into parts. So she doesn't give a shit about documenting her climb, even though she's a famous climber. And then you get calls from your girlfriend. They're like, well, I don't want to distract you, but like I worry every time you go up there. I'm afraid. Like, why do you do this? Aren't you happy with life? And through these messages, you kind of get the sense that the character you're playing as, Alva, kind of a bitch. Just like kind of a selfish asshole. But like maybe like all climbers, anyone who would do this, anyone who's like, I have a family, I have a life back home, I have people who care about me, but I'm going to climb a thing that has killed everyone who's ever touched it. It's like, yeah, you kind of have to be a bit of a selfish prick to do this. But at the same time, like what that means is I don't really like this character. I think she's kind of an asshole. And so every time that she does fall and die, I think, yeah, you kind of had that coming. You knew this would happen. And so between the narrative that makes me not like the main character and the hunger mechanics that like kind of push me forward and forward and forward, probably irresponsibly so, like I feel like all that just detracts from the like genuinely shockingly impressive climbing mechanics. Like these are climbing mechanics that have never been in any game before, and they are hypnotic in like just trying to find handhold and handhold and handhold, and that slow progress that you make up. It's really, really impressive. And to the game's credit, you can turn off all of the survival mechanics, and you can even turn off all of the like resource mechanics so that you always have pitons to use. You always have water in your thing. You basically always have resources. You always have hunger. You don't have to worry about that other stuff. And you can just focus on the climbing. And maybe I should have switched to that mode sooner. But I don't know. As I was playing, I kept finding myself getting frustrated at what I feel like are the ways that the central mechanic butts heads with every other element of the game.
as I'm watching this, I'm having a visceral reaction to whenever the character reaches out their foot, because it just reminds me of like you're in the dark trying to find the next step, and you're just
Mhm.
reaching your foot out to like make it. And I wonder if, like, from a narrative element, like you could probably take away from this, like anyone who gets really hyper fixated on something at the expense of like family, loved ones, their career, and kind of take meaning from the story as they continue to climb up, even though they're hungry, thirsty. It kills everyone.
Yes,
Like,
and like but narratively, I feel like that does all work, but also like I kind of just want to climb. I kind of just want to climb, man. I don't need all this like heavy fucking drama back home. I just want to climb. Which
So-
again, may be the point because that's probably what fucking Ava feels like as well. I just want to climb, fuck all the drama. But also the drama's there still.
like life.
Yeah.
So we should all play Peak then, is what you're saying. Like,
Yes, we should all play Peak.
What is Peak?
Peak is like Karen but multiplayer and wacky and funny.
yes,
Oh, have I
it
seen
is
this? This
the
sounds familiar.
yes. You have to have seen this.
Yeah, you probably
Um,
heard about it. It's about a group of Boy Scouts who like crash land and they have to climb a mountain.
Yeah.
And it's a multiplayer climbing game where you could try to get to the peak of this mountain with your buddies. And it's got resources, it's got limited things. Every time you get hurt, your stamina gets lower. Like you don't have a health bar, you have a stamina bar that keeps getting lower when you get hurt. And so it's like how much can you climb? You need your buddy to help you, but oh, it's not quite enough. And when you die, you come back as a ghost that like floats around and can haunt all of your friends. So you can still watch them play and talk to them. But
can
you
even
just
get in
appear
their
as like
way.
a little ball ghost. It's like woo.
Yes, it is a great game.
Yeah, Pika is
Yeah.
really fun to watch. I've watched a couple of streamers play it, and it's a fun watch.
I appreciate that the URL for Peak is http
Peak.
www.peakpeakpeak.com.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to play like a little bit more of Karen, but I've also like kind of moved on to a couple other things. I want to play it and just turn off all the resources and all the things. That way I can just focus on climbing. But at the part where I stopped at, I don't know where to go. It's like, oh, before you have a mountain and you can climb it. Right now, I have a mountain. And it's like, well, I could try going up that way. Nope, doesn't work. I could try going up that way. That doesn't work. I could try going up that way. That doesn't work. I could try going up that way. Oh my fucking God, that doesn't work. I could try going up that way. And after I like climbed up, fell down, climbed up, fell down, reloaded a save, climbed up, fell down like 5 times, I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Azure says the first person graphics in Peak look like you already cut your arms off to survive.
Pretty accurate.
All right. So, any other games that you played?
I played a couple demos, but I'll talk about those next week.
Okay.
That way I
And
save things.
Andrew, you already talked over about where did that come from? You already talked about your yeah,
It's
I haven't had
coffee
my
time.
coffee break.
That's
Yeah, I
why.
know.
I believe it's time.
Yes.
Mhm.
Hell,
It is
did
time.
forget. I've been trying to play Megabonk again.
Mm,
I don't know if you guys know what Megabonk is.
I've heard of it.
It's a 3D survivors game, like Vampire Survivors, Halls of Torment. There's a lot of these games now, and it's made by one guy. There's a lot of like, it's kind of memey, kind of funny, and I really liked it. It got really popular. I enjoyed it, but then I just stopped playing it for whatever reason. I've gone back to it, and my opinion has soured quite a bit the more I play
Oh,
it.
really?
Really?
The base gameplay loop is fun, but the difficulty is it doesn't feel balanced well.
Is it
The more I look at
spiked?
Yeah, so there's only a few maps, and every time you beat a map, you unlock another tier, up to 3 tiers. And the first tier, you beat the map, and then you go to this portal, you fight a boss, and then you're done. Tier 2, you do the same thing, but then you go through the portal and find a second, harder stage. And then tier 3, the same, which ends up in a final boss fight. It took me probably, I don't know, 30 tries to beat the stage 2 one for the forest map alone. It just, and I still haven't beaten the stage 3 one. The game just scales so fast, and it feels like if you don't meta, like, pick, you've lost. If the
Oh.
RNG goes against you, you've lost. And so you might be 25 minutes into a good run, and suddenly your damage falls off, and you can't kill a thing. Or you get hit once, and you're dead. You run into one enemy, and you're just done. And the more I do that, the more frustrating it seems. Because a good mark of these games is, like, you kind of hit a power peak where suddenly, like, you're done it. You survived long enough, you're gonna win. And this game feels more like, hey, you didn't build right, you've lost.
Mhm.
You haven't chosen the XP tome. You didn't get the XP tome. You've lost this run. Just restart it.
It's like if you don't get the same perfect weapons every time, you may as well stop.
Yes. And that has just kind of, it's still fun. It's still a good time. But it's frustrating. It's become more frustrating than fun. I'm losing more runs than, like I said, I've beaten one run in the last, like, 10 hours of playing.
Yeah.
And that doesn't
Yeah,
feel
I
good.
get that. I get that.
But I've been playing this a lot, and it's still a good time if you like these kinds of games. If you want a challenge, if you care about, like, playing the meta or something, it's worth the time.
Yeah, according to AC Rate, they don't even have a dedicated site or a developer site, which seems kind of odd.
Well, it was made by one person.
Well, even so, still want to advertise. One person can have a website. I'm proof of that.
Sure. He got nominated for Solo Dev of the Year, or, like, no, debut Dev of the Year. But he
Mhm.
was like, take me off this list. I've made other games under different names.
Oh,
So-
this is that guy. Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, I got it.
So I'm guessing he throws away his names after he makes a game. Like, I don't think he sticks to one.
He does it for the fun, not
Yes.
for the.
But I've
Got
been
it.
playing that a lot.
Nice.
It's great on the Steam Deck. It's a good time.
Wish I had one.
Did you give it to Nick? Did you get Nick to play Evolve again?
No, Nick has a ally. He's fine. He doesn't need it.
Oh, true.
No, wait, you have 2 though.
I know. That's why I was joking.
Okay, I
wish
was
had
like-
one, and
I was-
I have 2.
I was like, wait, either this is a joke or you lost both of them again.
No, but I will say this. I can never find both of them at the same time.
They're actually
Like,
just the
I
same Steam Deck
haven't
with
seen-
like different hats.
Yeah, I haven't seen the OLED Steam Deck since your party. You're up in.
That's crazy that
And
we
I
lost
know
it.
I put it in the car. I know I put it in the car.
Okay.
But I don't remember taking it out of the car. I must have taken it out of the car because it's not in the car.
Um,
But I
Is
don't
it
know if I took it out over at Chris's house, if I took it out at my house, if I took it out over in my
Look
my
behind the
apartment.
speakers.
This is the problem when you have multiple places, is that you don't really quite know where. But I mean, I've got the other Steam Deck. I know exactly where that is. But wherever you find it, it's like, oh, the OLED must be at the apartment. It's like, I don't see it in the apartment. Oh, the OLED must be at my other house. I haven't been there for a while, and every time I'm over there, I forget to look for it. So you're never, like, you know you have it. Like, originally. I know it's here somewhere, I just don't know where. But I know where the other one is, I think. I think it's in the other room.
I will say that I kind of have the opposite New Year's resolution that Nick does, where he wants to play a new game every week. I'm trying to work through my backlog. There's a lot of games that I've bought that I haven't played through that I want to get
I
through.
mean, that fits with my resolution. I could play all of my backlog games.
Okay.
AC Ray says
doesn't
that
mean
they're
I will. I'll
supposedly
just
sold out of
just
Steam
make it.
Decks, and they have to deal will have to deal with the memory
Yeah.
stock prices to restock, which means I probably should sell one of them if I can find both of them
did
at the
see
same
that.
time. I will sell one.
I'll
Yeah,
take your OLED. I have $50.
No, I'm not selling the OLED.
Yeah, I
I'll
saw.
play any game you want, Edie.
No,
Just let me know.
no, I'm not selling my OLED now. Edie needs money. Edie's run out of money.
Yeah,
Edie
I saw
needs
that
money.
this week. All of them were listed as sold out on Valve's store.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Those are
and
bleak.
I was reading, and I didn't link it as an article, but I was reading the Western Digital. If you think memory is bad, Western Digital says currently they just had an earnings report, 95% of their sales in the last year were to cloud, and 5% were to consumer. And cloud meaning essentially AI.
Yes.
And that's why they're not focusing on it makes no sense to them to focus on making these consumer products.
Oh, yes.
And they also said that their stock is gone. They have nothing on the shelves, and that their production for 2026 is already spoken for. It's
Wow.
already purchased.
Yeah.
So
Like,
you're
this
not going to
isn't-
see anything Western Digital on shelves at all. And this
No.
is
Yes.
this is talking about hard drives for
Yes,
for
because
SSDs.
I remembered. I want to say when I was looking at PS5 SSDs, one of the higher recommended ones, like one of the ones they say, "Oh, this is the best one," is the Western Digital Black.
Right.
But those are prohibitively expensive.
It's crazy. 2-3 years ago, SSDs were at all times like lows, to the point that Samsung
bought-
said they were gonna do artificial scarcity to bring up the
Huh.
price again.
Yeah.
And now we're
Yeah.
here.
I bought
Kevin-
two terabyte SD cards, and they were like $100 each. Because it's like, oh, 2 terabytes? Like, absolutely. And I've looked at those now, and they're like, oh, they're not that anymore. What are they? Let me check Amazon.
Kevin and I used to, on Sunday mornings, we would go to a local coffee shop for breakfast every Sunday.
$200.
And we would that was one of our little things that we did, is we would look to see how cheap we could find memory. And inevitably, it's one of the reasons why I have so many hard drives at my house, is Kevin would just buy hard drives because they were insanely cheap, like on Black Friday sales. It would be like a 2 terabyte or 5 terabyte hard drive for like $75, and he would just buy it because it's like so cheap. Well, what do you need it for? Who cares? It's so cheap.
Oh yeah, over the last 3 years, I've probably bought 12 gigabytes worth or 12 terabytes worth of storage drives.
Right.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So the 1.5 terabyte SD card that I bought for 100 is now 200, but the 2 terabyte is 370 or 550.
Yeah.
Oh
Listen,
my God.
computers should not be appreciating assets. Maybe I said
No.
this last time, but
Yeah,
they are.
yeah.
My buddy has a 4090 PC that he bought 64 gigabytes of RAM that he bought 3 years ago. That thing is substantially worth more now than when he bought it. That is
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, AC Ray says Gamer Nexus is a good source of memory industry reports. Gamers Nexus is a good source for all kinds of industry reports. They're just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. What was it? There was some big controversy that they found that it was it one of the motherboards that was just not doing all the things that was advertising, and then burning up stuff.
The 7800X 3D chips.
Yeah.
I think Asus had a problem with their boards that was causing the issue, or ASRock.
Yeah.
I forget exactly which one. Yeah.
They're classic for. They're kind of the H bomber guy of all things digital, and they do testing, rampant testing, and release reports of flawed materials, flawed products, flawed components, flawed business practices.
I will have to step away for a few. I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well, this makes a perfect segue into my
Mhm.
first news story.
Oh, well, then hold on a second. We should then, therefore, start the news.
Mhm.
Hold on. And news. This is the GameHounds news, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with gamer Edie and Nick DiNicola. And our first item is
Lego Batman, the upcoming Lego Batman game, has cut its RAM requirements in half since its announcement to now. And they say that this is because of optimization. And clearly, totally not because of RAM prices and shortages. So people were originally like really shocked at the recommended specs because the Skywalker trilogy, which was the last Lego game that came out, recommended 8 gigabytes of RAM. The Lego Batman Legends of the Dark Knight recommended specs were 32 gigabytes of RAM. So it quadrupled in requirements. Those requirements have since been cut in half down to 16 gigabytes. And the developer has said, please note our PC specs at this stage are not final. We will be continuing to optimize and make improvements as we move closer to launch. So people were originally speculating that the 32 gigabytes was really just a symptom of unoptimization, right? To go from 8 gig to 32 gig for a game that is not particularly graphically intensive, it's a Lego game.
right.
People like, this is a game that's coming in highly unoptimized and they're just having high recommended specs so that you can just brute force your way to a, game that plays at a decent frame rate. Well, apparently the memory shortages have encouraged the developers to focus on that optimization, lower that spec to 16 gig with a hint that maybe it could get lower in the future. So at the very least, if there is one silver lining to all of the RAM pricing exploding, maybe that will encourage developers to better optimize their games so that they can play well on lower spec systems.
Yeah, I never actually thought about that, but you're right. That's what's going to have to happen. In fact, I
fingers
should actually
crossed.
ask,
Well,
true, but I should ask Chris if Call of Duty might even be thinking about this, because if they're going to demand, if I don't know what's going on with the next Call of Duty, I do know that
yeah,
it's
let's see.
going
What are
to
the
be
PC specs for Call of
revolutionary. I've been
Duty?
told that it's going to be revolutionary. Um,
So apparently the PC specs for for Modern Warfare 3, Warzone, and Black Ops 6 is 8 gigabytes of RAM.
oh, all right.
So
Good.
yeah, they
They keep it tight.
Yeah, Creody
What
Black
are the
Ops
games that
7.
require more
Black
RAM?
Ops 7, yeah, 8 gigs of RAM.
Let's find that.
Let's
Look
see.
that up.
PC games that require 16 gigabytes of RAM. Oh, here's a Reddit thread. Is there any game that uses more than 16 gigabytes of RAM?
Star Citizen can exceed 64 gigs. Escape from Tarkov recommends 42 or more. City Skyline with mods, and Cyberpunk 2027, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and Ark Survival Ascended.
Yeah, Cyberpunk does 16, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 are all like 12 to 16.
Modded Minecraft recommends 16 to 32.
So
City
basically,
Skyline recommends says it with the mods easily exceeds 32.
yeah, like no game should require more than 16. If it requires 32, that is like,
right.
It's ridiculous. Like you shouldn't need that.
But all the ones that are requiring 16 have to be looking at if they're looking at the next iteration of games, or moreover, they might be looking at the existing games and thinking to themselves, we have to optimize this so that we can run it on smaller, because otherwise
Yeah.
we are pricing ourselves out of the marketplace, not because of our game, the cost of our game, but the cost of the thing to run our game. We're not going to be growing our business at all if we're requiring 16 gigs. Yeah, Ark Survival Ascended 16.
And a lot of that too is like minimum specs versus high end specs. Like if you have 32 gig, you can just run it at higher frame rate, at higher graphics. Like the road up is bigger, but you don't need that to just play the game.
Yeah. I'm looking at digital trends right now. Returnal was the first game to require, and this is an article from 2023. Returnal was the first game to require 32 gigs to play at recommended settings.
I would
Cyberpunk 27.
a lot of particle effects, but I remember people also criticizing, saying this is not needed. This is unnecessary.
Let's see, the game at ultra settings on CD Projekt Red, they recommended 20 gigs of RAM, and if you want to play overdrive mode, you need 24 gigs, along with one of the fastest graphic cards. Star Citizen, 16 gigs, but they say that you should go up to 64. Flight Simulator requires 16. Arc 2 doesn't say what it is in this article, but they're saying 32 gigs of RAM is a good place to start. Icarus,
Icarus, I don't even know that game.
open world survival game by Dean Hall of DayZ fame. So to run it at high settings, you need at least 32. Forspoken, let's see, 16 gigs, but if at minimum system requirements, but for recommended, it jumps to 24 gigs or 32 gigs if you want to have 4K resolution. Starfield, they said for higher detail settings, 32 gigs is a must. It was 16 gig required. So yeah, I think those days are over. Certainly for anything coming out in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
That when you're asking 16 gigs of RAM, you are painting yourself into a corner. A lot of existing people have, laptops that, fortunately, I bought this with 16 gigs of RAM. And the most recent laptop I bought for somebody else that was chugging along, I bought it at 16 gigs. But it's going to be increasingly expensive to have that kind of RAM. And when you're asking for 32 or 64, granted, those are for games that are running at ultra level with all of the detail and running it at performance mode. But still, 32 gigs is a investment on top of the investment of these graphics cards. So yeah, it's getting really expensive to play games at these super high. And how long have we said that the size of games are getting too much? They're just getting too big. You're just going to have to start being smarter. There's a reason why, was it Doom that you can play on just about everything?
Can it play Doom? Is anything that has a chip in it can play Doom.
Can play Doom, right. Because it is so well optimized that you don't need anything, and it still runs just fine. I don't need to say that they should be able to run Doom on your refrigerator or run.
But they have.
But yeah, they can. You can.
They have.
But I'm not saying your next game should be able to run on your refrigerator or your Roomba, but you should be thinking that way because there's not a lot of RAM to go around for consumers. AC Ray says the memory crisis will make every new game crisis.
Can it run? Can it run?
Can it run? And AC Race says, I only want to know what I can play in a 720p window on my 1080p monitor while streaming YouTube like every other game I play. Huh.
Yeah, right. All of this talk about RAM assumes that you're not doing anything else on your PC.
Yeah.
Okay.
AC Race also said to Forget Your Life regarding Legends. He said that Forget Your Life said Legends
Oh.
of the same game all over again.
Every Lego game. Yeah,
And
that's
AC
true.
Race did say this one is taking mechanisms from the Arkham series for something different. That's why it's exciting. Someone
Oh yeah, click it.
Forget Your Life said someone got Doom playing on a pregnancy test window.
If it has a chip, it can play Doom.
Anyway,
Yes.
yeah, this is not. I keep on thinking to myself, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's not gonna get better, and it's not gonna get better for a really,
Yes.
really
Like
long
okay,
time.
look, Edie. Yes, it will get better. Let's give it like multi years time frame. Don't expect months. Like let's talk about 2030.
Oh shoot! I left my phone in my car, so my car is open. I need to go downstairs and get it. But right
Okay.
now, I just finished 2 more books, and then I actually bought a book that is related to this called and I want to pull it up so because I know the name, but I don't remember the authors.
Hey there, I'm back. And
Hi.
I'm very sad I missed most of this conversation because I've been listening on my headset the entire time,
Yeah.
wanting to just yell things.
Okay,
Well, you
yell.
can-
Go ahead. We haven't moved.
You can yell it now while Edie gets her phone.
An important thing to remember also is that when you're playing on PC, Windows has been taking more and more base RAM usage.
Oh God, yes. And
Yeah, that's a good point.
Chrome. Chrome is a memory hog.
Yes. So there's that aspect. And you mentioned something like Returnal taking 32 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah, 16. It was the first one that took 16.
I thought it was 32. Because
Maybe it was
16,
32? I don't know.
Let's see,
Edie
Returnal was
said.
the first one that it was the first game to require 32 gigs to play
Okay.
at recommended settings.
part of this is a lot of the PlayStation games, they tried to
Oh,
use
it did.
the direct.
Sorry, at release, the specs did drop to 16.
It's because direct storage was a thing for PlayStation 5. And direct storage was basically you could run. So how it normally works is your hard drive goes through your CPU, gets put into your RAM.
Mhm.
Like it sorts everything in the CPU, sorts it, and puts it into your RAM. Then when you're trying to load stuff, it'll just pull stuff that's been preloaded into RAM and play it. Well, direct storage allowed you to just pull. It was so fast that it let you pull straight from the hard drive, so you didn't need to use the RAM as much. So any of the early PlayStation direct storage stuff had to basically load all of the stuff that was getting like taken directly from the hard drive into RAM, so that you could do that. This is part of the reason why Forspoken ended up having like absurd RAM requirements.
So then, was that because the PS5 used the SSD? And so in theory, if you had an SSD on the PC, you could do that? Or is that just like the way the games are, just the way the games are designed for the console and they take advantage of that specific hardware?
So direct storage is above and beyond an SSD.
Okay.
It's like super fast SSD reading. So it's not just like any NVMe that you could get. You actually had to get direct storage SSDs for the PlayStation to use that feature.
Okay.
It'd still work, but I think it's slow. But we're talking like a Gen 4 capped out at like 7,500 transfers per second, or like gigabytes, millions of transfers per second. The direct storage was like twice that.
Oh,
like,
wow. Okay.
You were pulling so fast from these drives that you could just straight up use that. Windows has this feature, but it hasn't really been adopted like across hard drives, so a lot of people don't have those SSDs. So you can't really plan for that. So yeah, that's why a lot of those early PlayStation exclusive games that use that function required a shit ton of RAM. And then I'm guessing as they played it out, he put a link. AC Race put a link in the article.
Yeah, they figured out ways around it.
My bad, in the chat. Also, yes, it is just mostly an optimization issue. There has been a push to optimize games more often, but this is also incredibly frustrating because that means this could have been done before.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
there's a financial interest to do this, whereas
Well-
before, like, there wasn't. It was just, oh, everyone will have 32 gigs.
It's the same rule of real estate is just about the rule of everything is that if you have a void, it will get filled. And in real estate, if you have empty space, it'll get filled up with something. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it is the optimized use for whatever it is. It just means that because we have it, why not use it? If it's easier to make it without optimizing it, they will. Chrome is a perfect example of that. Chrome of all things, does not need to be what it is, but they've been allowed to do it because one, they're Google, and two, to go back and try and make it smaller, that takes time and money. And why? Well, now they have a good reason why. Now there is a pain point, a pressure point that if Chrome can't run that and something else at the same time, more people are not, the answer isn't going to be, I need to get more RAM. The answer is going to be, I need to get Firefox or Opera.
I'd
And
be interested.
it's not, we're talking about games. Yeah, you make a point that it's not just games. It's also it's applications of any
Yeah.
kind. It's Windows. It's Adobe. Oh my God. Do you know how big Adobe Acrobat is? Acrobat is just an absolute hog of your hard drive. Photoshop. Granted, Photoshop, a lot of good reasons why Photoshop would need to have a lot of access to RAM, which is one of the reasons why I got 32 gigs on this laptop, because I wanted to run Photoshop and I wanted to also be able to run Chrome at the same time I'm running Photoshop. But both of those they're just behemoths as far as that's concerned. And they all could be optimized. And now there is that thing that's now pressing them that makes sense for them to start to go back and say, it would be easier to make it more resource demanding, but we can't now because the resources aren't there. We've
Yeah,
run out of land.
There's a financial incentive to be able to sell to the most people, and yeah, just not that anymore.
Yeah.
And
If you
also,
can't run the next Photoshop, and that's the other thing, Photoshop is with Adobe being a subscription service, they're constantly changing it. It's not like the old days where you bought old Photoshop, it was on your hard drive. You could use that Photoshop forever. Now, because it is a subscription service, they update it and you have to update it because you pay for it every month or on an annual pass. So you don't have access to the older Photoshop that might not be nearly as feature filled or nearly as big, that runs better on your machine. If they continue to building it, that it's no longer working on existing machines, people aren't just going to buy new machines anymore. They're going to stop using Photoshop.
Or where I do expect all this is going, you do the NVIDIA route. Oh, you can't buy our graphics cards anymore? That's okay. You can rent them from the cloud. You can rent them from us. You
Okay,
can pay us to do the thing that we can't sell you. We're not going to sell you the card, but you can rent it from us.
so
We're
is
not
that
going to we're not going to sell you Microsoft Word, but you can rent it from us in the cloud. Just everything is going to be cloud-based.
I don't know if this is in your story, but like in one of the news headlines, but that's a perfect segue into the conversation that now you can rent a PlayStation 5.
Oh, I did see that. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, dude,
As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, there's a segue.
I didn't even do that on purpose.
I forgot to bring up my notes when I redid my computer. Let me see if I can find. Please tell me. Oh, you did bring it up. No, that's paid family leave. There's my notes. God bless Microsoft. So yeah, Sony in the UK. Well, it's not Sony. It's Sony partnered with a company called Raylo, which is a London-based fintech that offers leasing subscriptions for consumer electronics. They have started something called the PlayStation Flex program. and it lets you rent a PS5 on a monthly basis without paying for the whole thing up front. So you can choose between these lease agreements between 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, 12, 24, 36 months. The longer the lease commitments, the lower the monthly rent. So you can rent it for 36 months, but it's much less expensive. At 12 months, it's going to be more expensive because, of course, they're only going to have you for 12 months. So the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition, which has 825 gigs with a DualSense wireless controller, is available for £9.95. No, sorry, £9.95, which is about $13.58 per month for 36 months. And I'll just give the American numbers: $14.32 per month for 24 months and $19.91 per month for 12 months. So about $20 a month if you want to rent it for a year. The console is also available on a monthly rolling basis, so you can just get it for a month at a time at $26.20, a little over $25. And that they can get you next day delivery, 14-day returns, and a lifetime warranty for the PlayStation itself.
When you think about it, at $20 a month, to cover the cost of a $500 PlayStation, that would be 25 months, which is a pretty long time.
Mm-hmm.
And given the number of like free-to-play games and like little freebies that you get here and there, it's not a terrible financial deal. Like, if you want a PS5 and you can't afford $500, it's not a bad choice, which is like a bad thing. I found this article on Reddit, and I just want to read a couple of the comments. Someone says, leaving my borrowed house in my borrowed car to go borrow my PS5.
Yeah.
That's the big problem right there, is just
Uh-huh.
you'll own nothing and you'll be happy about it.
Yeah.
It's a symptom of a larger problem.
Yes, yes it is.
So yeah, apparently it takes you 60 seconds to sign up and get a contract, and the console is delivered the next day. And when your lease is ended, you can either return it, upgrade if there's a new console for no fee, carry on your subscription monthly, or you can actually purchase the console. Now, I'm assuming that they're going to allow you to purchase the console at a discount. They're not going to charge you retail. But even so, it's at the end of it, you can buy it, kind of like leasing a car.
From what I did see one that was basically offering the same thing, where you couldn't buy it at the end of it. You just had to return it. And AC Wraith is pointing out that like renting started a year ago, and even probably before that. Rent-a-centers, like rent-to-own places, have always existed, but they've always been like exploitive. Like, they're exploitive.
Oh, they were incredibly exploitative. That's kind of Rent-A-Center is known for that. But this is actually Sony doing it. Granted, they're doing it through this Raylo.
Yeah, but that's the
service that already does that kind of stuff.
It's not someone that bought a bunch of PS5s and is then leasing them out. It's a first party approved system
renter,
which in theory should give you a little bit more security, but also like
it's dystopian as fuck. Man.
It is. It's dystopian.
Yeah. But there's a part of me that says I really wish I hadn't bought that PS5. Well, I'm glad I bought the PS5. I really wish I hadn't bought the Xbox One.
That has been the worst decision a lot of people have made lately. Honestly, I joke. If you're having fun with the Xbox, that's perfectly fine. All your friends are on the Xbox. That's fine.
I was thinking about this watching the Olympics. Lots of snowboards in the Olympics, right? Naturally. And it made me think, oh man, I would really love to go play SSX again. Not the original one for PS5. There was a remake, just SSX, that came out on Xbox 360. I think that is one of the best sports games ever made. I absolutely loved it. When I was like reviewing games for Pop Matters, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I love that game. It is only playable on the Xbox One using the backwards compatibility for the Xbox 360. Not available on PlayStation, not available on PC, not available anywhere except Xbox.
You might be able to find it.
I have that console for that game at this point.
You might be able to find it like on an emulation and stuff. Like you might be able to
Xbox,
find it.
but Xbox 360 emulation is not tip top.
Yeah, I wonder how good it's gotten now over the years.
I've looked into it. It's still a little rough.
AC Race points out that the first party stuff was approved last year, like
Oh,
a year
okay,
ago.
okay.
But it is just launched in the UK right now, and if it's in the UK, it'll come here. It'll come here. If they do it through Rent-A-Center, though, I hope they don't, because Rent-A-Center it's got such a bad reputation.
My dad used to do Rent-A-Center a lot, and I had some misconceptions about it. Like we'd always get like a new TV or something every couple months. And I used to think, oh, he's just upgrading and like transferring the money. Nah, he was just bad with money in general. he would spend a couple $100 on a thing, return it, and get a new one. And it's like you're just throwing money away. Don't do Rent-A-Center if you can avoid it.
No, don't do Rent-A-Center. Here's the thing, you can find it on Craigslist for what is Rent-A-Center is doing. It is not worth it. You can find it, you have to watch, and you have to be willing to pick it up and move quickly. You can find it on Craigslist for just a little bit more than what you would be paying at Rent-A-Center, and they will not be putting you into a debt hole that you will never be able to get out of. It's not worth it. I was telling you about the book that I was reading. I just finished 2 more books, and now I'm writing. I actually bought this book because I keep on hearing about it in different places. You know, like you have something where somebody mentions, you hear like the name of something. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a great title, or that it sticks in your head. And then you keep hearing it from different sources about, and eventually you go, okay, this is the world telling me I need to read this book. It's a book called If Anyone Builds It, Everyone Dies. Why Superhuman AI Would Kill Us. And this was released in September of last year in hardcover. It's by Eliezer Yudkowsky and Nate Soares. And they were one of the people, they're actually the founders of the, where is it? Does it say what they are? No, but there is it is a consumer group, a research group for AI that has been watching this. And remember when they got all of the AI companies together and they all signed an agreement like, hey, we're about to embark on this. Let's all have an agreement about what we're going to do and what not going to do, because this could really be bad. And they all signed on. They were 2 of the signers, and they were like, this agreement's not enough. And they wrote the book about how it's their argument that when they create a super intelligent AI, which is going to happen, this is inevitable. If we don't all agree not to build this, it is going to be a catastrophic event. And not like, oh, it's a catastrophic event, it's all terrible. You're like, no, this is an extinction level event for humanity. And the book, and it's apparently it's a very short book, I just started it. The book is their argument of how this will be an extinction level event. And, you know, they start out talking about, well, you know, you have people that predict, and there's different kinds of predictions. Like you can predict that if you put an ice cube into a boiling pot of water, that ice cube is going to dissolve. Now, will you be able to say how long it's going to, or exactly what's going to happen in the process of it dissolving with accuracy? No. But you have predictions that are ice cubes that are dropping it into a vent, and predictions of what the next lottery, whether your ticket is a winning lottery ticket. Those are 2 different kinds of predictions. Ours is more the dropping it in. We're not sure how long it's going to take. We're not sure how the process is going to happen for certain. We may make the decision. We may be wrong in our thinking of how we get to point A to point B, but make no mistake, point B is where all roads lead. Of everything in the middle, like, like the underwear gnomes, question mark, profit. That's what they're saying. It's like there's a lot of question marks between you create the super intelligent AI, which we're not quite there yet. We're working on it, but we're creating it. We know it.
Not going to get there.
And
Let's
they're
be honest.
that's their one of their arguments is like, oh yes, here is why we know this is going to happen. And we know this is going to be the end. There are stages along the way that are certainties. And they're like, this is a certainty. We're going to destroy humanity. And not just like humanity, like, oh, it might be a different kind of extinction level event. Now,
See,
their book, that's their job, is to be the people that alert, that are going to throw their hands up at everything and say it's all going to be, it's
Yeah.
the sky is falling. The sky is falling. Somebody's got to be the sky is falling for people.
But the sky is falling people. That's just as much a marketing ploy as it is like AI will change the world. The CEO of Anthropic always out there going, AI is gonna fuck us all. Oh my god, dude, this AI thing that I'm making, it's gonna fucking kill us. Then why are you making it?
Why are you making it?
Because by saying AI is gonna fuck us all, that gets people thinking AI is super powerful. This is an incredible technology. It's a selling point.
Yeah, but these guys aren't selling anything. These are the guys that are saying what they're saying is true, and you need to stop them.
They're selling a book.
Them.
Yeah, they're selling a book.
They're selling a book for $15. It's
but
they're not getting rich off of their book. They're heads of an AI think tank. It's not like.
But again, AI think tank needs AI to survive. It's this parasocial parasitic relationship.
I don't think that they're looking to get rich from being on an AI thing.
I think that they believe what they're writing. I'm not saying that they're scam artists. I think they believe it. But I think that belief that AI will destroy the world is as much of a the AI doomers are just as much they're on the same end of the spectrum as the AI evangelists.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are two sides of the same coin.
That's what I'm saying. This is going to be the extreme of that. Right. But before you make any judgments, I am going to ask you, will you read that book with me? We'll have a little book club and we will talk about that because we're, it's apparently a really short book. It's not very long at all.
Edie, nice. I don't know what a short book means to you because you read every day, every night, your entire life. She's like, it's a short 650 pages.
272 pages. 200 pages. 272 pages. And that includes that's not all the readable pages. That's all of the title page and everything else. So it's probably 250 pages.
So, especially when that happened and OpenAI released ChatGPT, there was a lot of people who were like, "Oh my God, this is the next step is general artificial intelligence. We're basically there."
Yeah.
The last 3 years, I think, has kind of proven that it's not that. In fact, we've trained AI on pretty much all of the data, all of it. I am sure there are GameHound podcasts that have been transcribed and put into an AI model.
Absolutely.
They have all of it.
Yeah.
There are things that are getting better, but it's not evolving the way people assumed. Yes,
yeah, I've seen people speculate, is OpenAI the WeWork of technology? And I think it absolutely is. They came in with the technology doing what Silicon Valley loves to do and disrupt, right?
Right.
You undercut, you do the Uber model. You replace taxis for ultra cheap so that you put taxis out of business, or mostly out of business. Then you jack up your prices because there's no alternative. And now things just cost just as much as a taxi, except it's one company running it all.
Mm-hmm.
OpenAI wanted to do that. They had a technology that could do really interesting things. And they're like, we're going to sell this to everyone with the assumption that it will get better. And we're going to sell it on the promise of it doing these amazing things, with the assumption that it will get better over time and do those amazing things.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the things that it started off being able to do, it's gotten better at doing those, better at faking videos, better at creating deep fakes of actresses, better at
Yes.
coding, better at, creating, at being like writing various things, but it still can't do the stuff that they promised. It didn't quite get to that point. And so now you've got a technology that's like, well, it can do that small stuff really, really good, but it still can't do the big stuff.
Yeah, I mean there are uses for what it can do, and they're trying to promise the moon outside of those uses.
But
And
yeah, because they have
unfortunately,
to.
I've been listening to like podcasts and stuff about like the possible economic ramifications,
Have
and
you
a lot of go ahead.
Better Offline?
Exactly who I was listening to.
Yeah,
Yes.
Ed Zitron. Yeah, man.
Yes, I listened to his whole like enshittification of the stock market and
Yeah,
financial institutions.
yeah.
And essentially the premise is like a lot of people compare this to the dot-com bubble. However, that is not accurate. This is like 1,000 times worse with like half as much uses as what the dot-com bubble was promising. The dot-com bubble, like they put a bunch of fiber in, which became useful later. There were e-commerce actually did pop off, which was a thing that like the dot-com bubble was about. There were infrastructures that were laid out because people thought that would be useful, and some of them worked. Some of them became useful. The stuff that's being promised with AI is nowhere near like laying what is going to be useful. Not to mention with the dot-com bubble, like the infrastructure for the internet was being laid out, and that became broadly more useful in general. There's nothing
They
that. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, they talk in the book about their points in time in technology, or even without technology, where things are done, and from that point, even if it's not successful, life is never the same. And this is and the dot-com bubble. Yeah, it got big and then it took everybody down. But remember, when they're talking about the dot-com bubble, they're talking about the economic bubble.
Yes.
Dot-com bubble created the internet as we know it. It was successful technologically. It built the internet. We wouldn't have GameHounds were it not for the technology in the dot-com bubble. Now, did all of those companies survive? No. The bubble burst, and we're talking about, again, the financial bubble. Just because the financial bubble of AI will collapse, and it will, doesn't mean the technology will collapse. The technology is always going to be there, and it will progress with fewer companies eating up all of our chips and all of our SSDs, but it's going to progress. And that's the eventuality. And I think you and I tend to look at AI as being like, it's not there yet, because we're looking in the short term because they're making short-term promises. But you and I both know that it will do that someday, not today. But it will do that. There will be a super intelligent AI. And
I disagree with that
without
fundamental
question that
premise.
they know they can get there. They just have to wait. That's the inevitability that they see.
Okay.
And
that's
that being the extinction level event.
So I know like that the dot-com bubble, when it's talked like that, is an economic event, but like it's directly tied to what we got out of it by the end of it, right? Like with the foundations for the internet.
Right.
The things that we are building for AI that would survive the AI bubble, which economically speaking is way worse, so much worse than the dot-com bubble. So I was too young for that, but like imagine the damage that caused, and then compound it by orders of magnitude, because that is how much money is invested into this. That is how much stock prices are inflated. When this pops, like people are going to lose their lives. Like it is going to be bad.
Yeah,
But
this
the
is
things
on the level of the Great Depression of people jumping out of windows.
the infrastructure, the physical things we are building for AI are data centers. And these data centers are not going to be useful once the AI bubble pops. There's not enough capacity to use those for anything other than AI. Otherwise, they would have been built for the data that we're already like generating in society. So we are spending catastrophic amounts of resources, manpower, materials, building these data centers that are otherwise going to be completely useless in 10 years,
Mhm.
20 years. And there is nothing else fundamentally that AI is giving us outside of that, which is why I don't think we'll ever get to the super intelligence. If anything, I think again, the closer this gets to popping, people are realizing that you can't really do anything about the hallucinations.
Yeah.
The stuff it makes up makes it too inconsistent to be useful. And even like all this talk of like coding and stuff like that, vibe coding, whatever, even that's proving to be not great.
Mhm.
There was this new tool that Better Offline was talking about recently, one of the more recent ones, which was called like something Claw.
Claude. Oh yeah, Claudbot.
Something like that. And it allows people to like make programs. However, like talking to a programmer, it's fun if you're like a weekend person who wants to like maybe throw a calculator together, some type of like calendar app. But anyone who's doing actual coding, it's fucking worthless.
Mhm.
You would have to go back in and fix all of the code that it did produce, and it's not really good for production environments where you're going to have a client buying it, where you're going to need to know the code, because if something goes wrong, you're going to need to fix it. And I'm of the mind that there was a lot of hype about what this AI was able to do, and at this point, it's all marketing. It is
Oh, at this
people
point, it's
trying to
all
keep
marketing.
it's people trying to keep the bubble alive.
Yeah, it's absolutely all marketing. But they're marketing just like the dot-com bubble. It was all marketing, but you're talking about the marketing for the individual companies, and whether they survived or not. What they predicted, what they were saying was going to happen with dot-com when the dot-com bubble was going crazy, ended up occurring. This is what they said they were building. It's just who won the race. Google won the race.
Yeah, but that was because
Google's
they were
doing everything that was being promised and more from the dot-com bubble, during the dot-com bubble heyday, when they said, we're going to have this and we're going to have that and we're going to have this, and it was being sold as marketing. It was marketing. But Google ended up doing all that and more. So the predictions of those marketing sales pitches were absolutely true.
Yeah, but like again, the reason why these aren't necessarily the same, and that's what I was getting at with like them being compared, is that fundamentally they offer different things.
Right.
And while there was a lot of like, oh, this is all going to be useful later with the internet, I don't think like AI is useful, like almost at all, really. Like there are certain things that it can do, but for production, for like generating money, I don't think it's there. I don't think it'll ever be there.
Yeah.
This is just, I guess, in my opinion at this point. But
Forget
yeah.
Your Life says, I need some GoDaddy AI commercials.
No, I guess I'm just repeating myself at this point.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think we both agree, and we're both
Edie, you should listen to the Better Offline podcast.
I will if you promise to read that book with me, because I'm reading it with an element of skepticism as well.
Oops.
But at the same time, I've had enough people and I'm not talking about people that I know, I'm talking about like NPR and stuff you should know, where they're like, it's an interesting read. We're not sure if they're predicting anything that's going to happen, but it is an interesting read to have. Sometimes, I'm looking at this, what was it, Progress 2025, when everybody was screaming, Progress 2025! This is what they're doing! This is what's going to happen! Don't elect him! It's Progress 2025! And we were like,
yeah.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
And then now everybody's like, hey, everything that's happened is in Progress 2025. It's actually occurring. This is the blueprint. Go read it. And
Yeah.
so I'm actually planning on
Project.
reading that because Project 2025. And I'm actually thinking of reading it because I have a bunch of, I'm hearing that it's like, hey, it seems like everything's going crazy right now. It's not so crazy because we said this is what he was going to do. And look, this is what he's doing. It's true. It's happening. So sometimes the crazies are right. And I'm recognize that these guys are probably the sky is falling kind of extreme of the spectrum from AI is going to change the world and it's going to be great for everybody, like Sam Altman, and this guy, or even Elon Musk. Everything's going to be AI is going to be robots. It's going to be great, and you're going to have robots everywhere. To these guys at the other end of the spectrum of like they're going to kill us all. The reality is probably somewhere in the middle, but the question is which end?
I just want to say what I said on text that James Cameron predicted all this back in the 80s.
True.
Yeah.
And
Prevention Life says,
yeah, we can move on to that because I do have that.
oh, good, because I did not bring it in. But yeah, that the question was, how do you guys feel about Discord's announcement?
So Discord announced that they are going to implement age verification just months after their previous implementation of an age verification leaked like 70,000 people's IDs. And they have gone, it's hard to get it with all the details, but they've said like, no, this is okay. Most of people, like, you won't even have to verify your age because we'll use AI to like look at your history and determine how old you are,
which is an insane
which
thing
is
to
its
say.
own kind of like, that doesn't make me
what?
feel better. that's like, okay, I don't click an I'm 18 button, but like you're not getting it. But then they've also said, oh, if that doesn't work, we'll have to take a picture of you or take a picture of your ID, but that's okay. The picture will stay on your device, except that that picture is actually being sent out to a third-party data processor they will be the ones who look at it and determine how old you are. There's no guarantee about them keeping your picture. So your picture is leaving your device. Then they said, no, they won't keep it for more than 7 days. But
from my understanding, that was just with the IDs. The IDs that you send in has to be processed by a third party, but the actual like face recognition stuff will be all. You can't see me quotations because I don't have a stupid camera.
Yeah,
but all on system.
Yeah, they claim all of that. But then again, this comes right after, last October, Discord got hacked and 70,000 users' photo IDs were leaked. So, this, and they talked about this on Remap a lot. And Patrick Klepek had a good take when he's like, look, man, you think that whatever they're talking about, they're not already doing? Like,
yeah,
they're already doing everything.
Yeah, they could scrape. They have like they can scrape all of your data for AI stuff.
Like all of this. Oh, you have to verify your age. Take a photo of your face. They already have all your photos. Any photo you've uploaded, they have. Like all this stuff. The problem is that now it's come to the forefront. Like now you're kind of being.
Now they're talking about it.
Now you have to come to terms with the lack of privacy that you've always had.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, just a quick tangential thing. I don't know. It's related kind of similarly. Did you guys watch the Ring commercial from the Super Bowl?
I was about to bring that up. Yes, we did.
So
and the Ring has search party, and Ring has severed its ties. It's decided not to do that because of that.
If you don't know, what it does is it connects your, like, say you lose your dog. You can go onto the app and be like, hey, I need to find my dog. And it will connect your Ring camera and all the other Ring cameras and use AI to track to see if it can find your dog in your neighborhood. Everyone disliked this. Everyone hates this.
Yeah, and they launched this with
everyone hated that.
Everyone hated. Yeah, they put that Super Bowl ad out, and it was one of those moments of like, did you not figure out that this
Yeah.
would appall everybody. So of course they put out this ad, and they, I'm sure, expected everyone to think, "Oh, what a great
I
great
could find my
idea.
dog.
I can find my dog, or I can find my kids. My kids will be safe." And they instantly got a mortification of the United States, where everybody's like, "Fuck no!"
So
And yeah, so they've severed that
yeah,
contract, that relationship. They're not partnering with that data company.
but in an example of what Nick was saying, which is why I bring this up, I shared this with a buddy. My buddy's like really into like privacy and like looking into this stuff. Currently, in some cities, I'm not sure how many, there are camera setups that are run by a third party for the police that'll sit there and just track traffic and record all of it.
Mhm.
And this is just out there, and it's been out there for over a year. And essentially, there is a private company that is contracted by the police to like know where you're at and your privacy. And an example was like a cop showed up to this woman's house and was like, "Hey, you're driving a stolen vehicle," and it took her having to like get the documents for the vehicle to prove that it wasn't stolen because the AI like systems in the town monitoring traffic fucked up and said it was stolen and sent that to the cops. So this is a bigger problem than Ring, and it's been a problem for years. And back to the Discord thing, Nick's right. They have every time you've uploaded a selfie, every time you've shown your cat, like they have those pictures. And it's only
Yeah,
now that
and
they're asking for explicit permission is it allowed.
yeah, and
That is a
Forget Your Life
great.
said,
Oh, go
he
ahead.
said no rectal scans for me. I'll be out of here. And he says like, yes, they already have it. However, I'm not going to click OK for them to
Yes.
do it, which I'm with. But I think the truth is, for all of us and for anyone watching us, you're probably old enough that Discord knows your age.
I started my account in 2016.
For
Like at
whatever,
this
yeah,
point,
like whatever you did, whatever you said, just anything, they probably already know your age. This like is mainly for people who are 18, 19, 17, like on that edge, that cutoff. Like,
it's still
how
not
do you
great.
judge that? It's
Uh,
no, it's still not great at all. And I want to bring up, because you talked about Ring, this relates to the disappearance of the Today Show's host's mother,
Oh,
Yeah.
Samantha.
yeah.
That apparently she had not a Ring camera, a Google Nest camera, but she wasn't paying for them to back up the data, right? She wasn't paying for you can store all of the video online so you can access it later. She was just using it as a doorbell.
they have
Except
it.
that they now have video of someone at her door, because Google records all that video. They just make you pay to access it.
On the flip side, there was Apple just had to pay like $100 million because they were recording conversations outside of like saying like the hello. I don't think
Hey,
Siri said, but
hey Siri.
yeah. Okay, so it was Siri. Yeah, essentially, they were listening for keywords like during your conversations, and like they would send it off to a private contractor to look through what you said and see what they could use out of that data.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
So-
like all this is still, we already live in the panopticon hellscape. I'm
Yeah.
with you though. Forget Your Life. I don't want to click. If it wants to give me a teenager account, fine. I don't use Discord for anything that's like more than that. I use it to talk with GameHounds.
Yeah.
But we probably won't even have to,
In an
because
effort
we're all
to
part of it.
in an effort to steelman a terrible, gross decision, I was looking into this, and there was a Discord developer who was responding to a thread about this, I think on the Discord channel. And they mentioned that, like, in like Nick's case, right? You probably won't be asked. They won't ask you unless you try to change specific settings that are like, hey, I want anyone to be able to message me. So, like, it's not a request. And, like, I want to see not safe for work stuff. Like, if you don't do these things, or if you try to get on like a live stage event, which is like a community thing where like someone's streaming, you could hop in and watch and talk during that, you won't even be asked. And they were like, we were looking at the data, and almost 90% of like the people who use Discord will not be affected by this. This doesn't make it better, and I'm not for this. But that was their logic, was this is going to have the smallest impact on the number of people who use Discord who might have to do age verification. I hate it.
Maybe, I don't know.
It should be.
I know very little about Discord settings. It probably is. But again, if we created that, they know that, and they'll probably say, "Oh yeah, okay, they're older than 18." I probably had a Discord account for more than 18 years.
No, but that's what?
I probably
He
had
said he's probably had a Discord account for more than 18 years.
I don't think it's been out for 18 years.
Oh, it hasn't? Okay,
No,
I don't
like
know.
10, 12 years.
Okay.
Sorry, my brain like fizzled out for a second. But no, like that was their best argument for this, was this is meant to be as inintrusive as possible. But getting out of that, fuck them. This is awful.
Yeah, and
don't need to
again,
do
this
this.
comes on the heels of them already having a data leak. And so they're
Yes.
like, we just leaked all your data, but you know what? We're going to require you to give us all your data.
We cut ties with that company. Here are 3 to 5 other companies that we work with who didn't have it get leaked yet that we're going to send it to.
Yeah.
Right.
This is an example of like the reason all these age verification things are being implemented is because in a lot of European countries, they took the initiative after a lot of tech companies have absolutely failed to like do anything to protect young users from social media and predators and all that stuff. So the failure of tech companies forced governments to implement age verifications that are naturally not the best, and all the tech companies are implementing them in the worst way possible because that's kind of all they do. It's like, well, we got caught doing shit, and so I guess we'll do the bare minimum to appease like the specifics letter of this law without going any further than we have to.
And the worst kind of part about this is Discord has a ton of parental tools. Like this exists, but like they just don't expect parents to use them. The responsibility of controlling what your kids use online has been pushed off to the tech companies, the social media companies.
True.
Yeah,
True.
lots of people want to go back to forums so we can share knowledge instead of locking it away.
That is actually a genuine problem I think that Discord has.
Oh my God. At work, I ran into an issue where I'm like, I'm trying to use Python to get this thing to run and it's not running. I talked to this guy who had helped him. No, and he's like, I used Copilot to do it, but Copilot wasn't running on my machine. So I'm like, well, I don't know how to do this. Take the error, put it into Google, search a bunch of forums. Someone says, enter this code. I do that. And guess what? It fucking works. There's a reason these forums are like repositories of knowledge that last for decades. It was like a 3-year-old forum post, but it helped me. So forums are still beautiful.
I do that on a daily basis with QuickBooks, with Airtable, with many times with Excel, actually lots of Excel. I have learned, run up against problems in Excel, and only in forums deep in forums have I found, and some of them are like 10 or 15 years old, and found the thing. It's like, aha, that's how I did it. That's how I fixed that.
Yeah.
So I've been able to create all these automations in Excel.
Speaking to AC Wraith's comment about the going back to forums, like as I was mentioning, like, it's good that you were able to find that online, but that is probably one of the great sadness, like tragedies of Discord, is that instead of going to Reddit for new problems, sometimes you'll see people, which is what I was mentioning when Nick said it, is no, join this Discord. They worked on this problem. They said it in this Discord. And it's like, well, that's not an answer for people who don't want to like see that, like who don't want to join the Discord.
All of the Discords are private,
right?
And so there's going to be all of this like wealth of human knowledge and effort gone to fix these problems that once Discord goes away, it's just gone, like permanently. Versus like Reddit, which you could archive. You can't archive your Discord chat unless someone does it in the system.
Reddit,
and that's
also very
sad.
useful.
Yes.
Yeah, Reddit is actually,
And
I use
Forget
it
Your Life
constantly.
also says, from what I've read, you'll be locked out of any adult servers. So anything set up as adult when it started. So in theory, if you get labeled as a teen, you won't be able to join the GameHound server. In that case,
We'll all be teens.
load up Death Stranding, because I remember hearing that like you could get around the age verification by recording Norman Reedus's face in Death
Man,
Stranding.
why does
'cause it
everyone
was
look
so high
like Norman
resolution.
Reedus? That's crazy. Norman Reedus.
What
has
would the
so many
world do
accounts.
without my poorly worded mini reviews? Think of the children. I like
Anyways,
your mini reviews.
Also, let me plug our Discord. If you are not on our Discord, please come to our Discord. We would love to have you so that we can actually, and when AC Wraith does say about his mini reviews, poorly worded mini reviews, he does have tons of reviews of games and also alerts you to when there are good deals coming out on games. He
All
is
ages. Join
constantly
us, all ages.
all
yes,
ages. So there's our
ignore the adult
Discord.
thing.
Please join.
Yeah, Edie's horribly timed pitch. We hate this. We hate Discord.
We hate Discord.
Yes. Hate the age verification. It is bullshit.
Yes.
Okay, so next item.
Well, should we get to the thing that the episode is named after?
Yeah.
Sure. We do not want another the Blizzard book. The one that was titled after the Blizzard book that Jason Schreier wrote, that Edie was like, what was it? Play Nice.
Play Nice.
We read
that's
Play
the-
Nice, and then I watched the whole podcast show, and it was never mentioned once.
Yeah.
And then the next episode was like, we're actually going to talk about it. Still wasn't mentioned.
We're just teasing you. It's just the buzzwords to get you in the door.
You know, I actually have never finished that book because it's a physical copy.
Can we end on that? Because I kind of want to rant about High Guard before we get into like the games, unless there's more news after this. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, there's a Sony State of Play. Let's hit it. Unless you don't want to.
Okay.
No, he said he wanted to rant about High God before we got into.
Okay.
It feels
Rant
weird
about
to
Sony?
go from like High Guard to, or from State of Play to High Guard,
Okay.
That's just
So
me.
let's do High Guard to State of Play.
because this will be negative, and then we can move into positive, looking forward to stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you did it? Okay, good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Rant
So
away.
we learned this week through a lot of like postings, and eventually Wild Light Studios came out with an official statement. They have laid off most of their staff.
Really?
And yes, and they say that they're keeping a small core team to continue to work on and iterate and innovate with the game. However, the people that they let go were not positions that you would assume a healthy company trying to maintain a core team would, like lead senior rigger for like characters and artists, lead UI artists, stuff like that, like just leads who have been with the company since the start.
Yeah, it feels like you want to keep them around. If you want to keep a core team, you lay off all the contractors.
Yeah.
That I assume worked on the game, but you keep the core employees.
And I forget exactly, so I don't have the article up, but there was a one of the employees mentioned that there was a lot of content that they were working on that he was excited to show, which people are taking to imply that this content will no longer be released. A proper reporter would have names. I do not. This. Go ahead.
No, I'm looking through a Variety article.
High guard layoffs means coffee time.
What?
It's coffee time.
Oh,
He's
yes,
making
yes.
coffee.
But she didn't take the camera with her this time.
No, she. When you come back, you'll see that we're with her.
Oh, she did. Okay, she did. Good.
So, I mean, obviously this is terrible, but we've seen this same headline a dozen times, right?
Yeah, and what's surprising about this, even though people were rooting for it to fail, I think it's still surprising because they had said ahead of time, we have this roadmap, we have a plan for a years of content of release, and so it seemed like for a game that, as they said, they were originally planning to shadow drop with no advertising. And it was only when Keighley saw it and thought, oh, this is really cool, that he gave it the slot in the Game Awards. So for a game that was originally planning to come out with literally no advertising, that they claim had a year's worth of expansions already ready, it seemed like they were going into this aware of how difficult it is to launch a hero shooter live service game, that they kind of knew, okay, we're going to start small and we want to grow. It seemed like they had the right expectations.
And that's what I had assumed from reading that stuff. And when we were talking about this off stream through text, I realized I started to get more and more mad about this. Tremendously mad, because I just want, these are people's lives. It's their passion, the stuff they've been working on. And once again, it's thrown in the trash. This isn't a Concord yet, but it's very similar to Concord in that 2 weeks. 2 weeks, done. And while they haven't shut off the servers or taking the game down, it definitely does not seem like they plan to long-term support this game.
Yeah, it seems like everything they were talking about ahead of time was just lying.
And judging from what people are saying when they were laid off, this was a complete surprise. And that announcement that we just need a small dedicated core fan base and we're going to build off of that. They announced that 2 days after the game launched. So the staff who were working on this game must have felt at ease. They know that this is going to be a slow burn, that we're going to build over time, and to have it them fired, to have a game that's spent 2.5 years of these people's lives trashed, essentially. Because I don't have any love for Highguard, but who the fuck is making these decisions?
Yeah.
I am a normal person. I don't know the industry, but I could have told you that Highguard was not, when I saw it for the first time, I was like, oh, this is going to be middling. It's not going to do big numbers. It's not going to be huge. It's not going to break in the market in a meaningful way. I hope they planned for that. Did you see Concord? Concord had great presentation. They had this whole multimedia plan for a bunch of videos and stuff. $400 million behind it. Gone in 2 weeks. You had to have seen that a year into your development and been oh shit, is this going to happen to us? Should we plan for this? And they said they did. They said not exactly that, but they said that they planned to have a small dedicated player base to build off of.
Yeah.
What went wrong? They're self-published, so it's not a publishing studio. Was it just that they were very crude but high on their own farts here? Where when they brought people in and people were like, oh, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Did they just think they had it?
Their expectations went through the roof. And then when it didn't meet those now inflated expectations, well, let's cut our losses and shut everything down.
Yeah.
Well, do you think that might have happened, that they had the right mindset originally, and then the Keighley factor came in, and then that shifted oh my God, this is going to be huge.
I feel like it should have shifted.
Reconnoitered.
It should have shifted it the other way. One of the laid off people was talking about the negative reception to the game, and I think he said, and I'm paraphrasing, the least we deserved is to not have our failure be embraced, to not have it be washed with glee. That's the least we deserve, to not let a bomb be celebrated.
Yeah, and I agree. That's terrible. No one should be.
But my point is, when the came out and there was all that negative reaction to it, that should have lowered whatever expectations they had.
No, I'm talking about what Keighley, they had an expectation. They figured it would be a game.
Mm-hmm.
They were realistic. And then Keighley walked in and said, oh my God, this is fantastic. I want to feature that. This is going to be
and then the
feature
expectations
presentation
go up. But when there's the backlash against it, those expectations should have come back down.
It's a shame too, because being put in that spot, I don't Highguard. I watched that preview for it, the trailer for it. I think I messaged you guys that I felt nothing. I felt
it's
that
a little generic.
Yes, not just generic, a little confusing too. Because there's this one time that this guy rages out as an ultimate, and then he just starts shooting a little 6-shooter revolver. But it's like that's not what I expected was going to happen. People love the last showing at the Game Awards. They want to see something hype. They want to see something new, and they're expecting it. So it's not that they were mad at High Guard. They were mad that they didn't get that conclusion to the show, the hype. And so they put that anger onto High Guard.
Yeah.
Because I don't think High Guard deserves pretty much any of the hate it's getting. I think it's okay to be like, hey, this isn't a great game. This needs work. And in fact, from what I've seen, I watched a review of it from Skill Up, and he goes into the gameplay loop. There's some serious problems, but the idea is interesting. It's essentially like a sort of battle royale, choose your gear, first half of the game, a capture the flag, and then a siege for the last half. People really equate it to like Rust or something.
Yeah, that process of, and like I think Killzone did this way back in the 2000s, where the game mode was shifting game modes. Like it shifted from deathmatch to capture the flag to something else, back to deathmatch, and like a match that shifts the objective throughout. Like that's a neat idea.
Mm-hmm.
And like a fantasy Rainbow Six Siege is also a cool idea.
Yeah,
I think there's something there. But they had too much going on, or not enough going on in this case. Balance wasn't good. There was stuff that if they had done, and you brought up Arc Raiders in this, and how you thought Arc Raiders wasn't really going to succeed. But Arc Raiders had multiple betas that came out where they listened to the audience and they retooled stuff. And a lot of those games, even Overwatch, had betas. This is a game that a lot of people said would have a lot of better reception if it had time to iterate before it launched in 1.0. People could have told you that, hey, the first half of the game where you're getting gear, that it's only the base level gear and mining is almost pointless. Like, that is bad. They could have told you that, hey, 3v3 is kind of bad. It's not very fun for the size of the game you had. But no, they just launched it. And to an extent, to your question about like whether or not Keighley made the hype too high, unsubstantiated reports say that like there was I forget which dev was talking about it, but internally as they were developing the game, everyone they brought in to test it, like family, friends, stuff like that, were like, oh, you have something here. You have lightning in a bottle. They thought they had the thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much, like, if there was not a moderating voice in their dev team that was like, maybe we don't. Maybe only having 6 heroes in a 3v3 game isn't good. Maybe we need more heroes. Maybe we need to beta test this so that other people who aren't attached to us can try this and we can learn from it. And that's not what we got. And unfortunately, apparently the studio was like 50 to 200 people. I know it's a wide range, but we don't really have strong numbers. Most of those were laid off for a game that maybe could have become better down the road.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing. It's frustrating. Because if a normal person can look at this and go, oh no, there's something wrong here, I would hope somebody who has college degrees, years in the industry, can look at this and go, oh shit, we need to work on this. We need to have moderate expectations so that we don't lose our ass and people are laid off. I'm very upset about this.
Yeah, it feels like the people that should know more don't actually know more.
And I can't even say this was like a publisher problem. They own the studio. They self-published.
We can't blame like EA or Ubisoft this time.
They have like 2,000. I'm not sure right now, but before this announcement, like 2,000 people on Steam. If we assume that PlayStation 5, Xbox also had similar numbers, very small player base for such a game, that's what I would have expected watching the trailer. Like, this is not unexpected that it was this amount, especially if you wanted to shadow drop it.
Yeah.
How many players did they think they would have? 10,000? 20,000?
And that's not that far off from Fragpunk, which was like another kind of interesting looking shooter game that is now out. And I saw it on one of those award shows and thought, oh, that seems kind of neat.
Yeah.
Fragpunk has 1,800, and right now High God has 1,800. Right this second.
I don't know if that's enough. I don't. Like, I don't know if like that's 1,800 people amount to a few whales who bought all your content. But man, the industry has to do better. For the people working in it, for the people who play these games, like they just have to do better.
Well, then it's kind of it is the legacy of the industry that you're right, it has to change. The legacy of the industry was you work on a game, and then when the game is over, everybody's laid off, and then they start another game, and everybody gets hired back on. That's a legacy of the games industry. Really originated with the movie industry and the television industry, and now that the economy has changed, now that how expensive everything is, we haven't kept up with incomes that are on par with costs of living. So getting laid off is a life-threatening event. It is a ruinous event. Whereas before you got laid off, if you were in an industry that lays people off, you could, save enough money in between, or you'd be brought back. There was a level of comfort to it because you had a cushion. Everyone had a cushion. Everyone had a emergency fund.
At least in this industry.
There.
And these kind of industries.
And they knew that this industry was like that. Now that doesn't exist. That they're not paying enough to a lot of these developers because a lot of them are young, and that's a very high demand for these jobs. So they can underprice it so that they can have people that just want to work on the games, and they aren't creating these abilities for anybody to have the cushion that they need to be able to withstand being laid off for extended periods. And this right now in particular, you're hearing a lot of screaming, is because 1 in 4 people in the game industry lost their jobs last year, and a lot of them haven't been rehired. There's the industry has collapsed, and everybody is losing their jobs. So the idea that they may be hired by another company, which is, that's how you did it. You got fired by EA, you got picked up by Crystal Dynamics. Your Pandemic went out of business, you started another, company. Everybody just moved around, and everybody got each other jobs because either a new studio was started, or, there was layoffs, but it was an established, knowable thing. Now layoffs happen, and there is no cushion. It destroys families, it destroys lives, and there's no hope of getting another job.
And to expand on that a little bit, like years ago, I don't even know at this point. I think it's probably been 10 years, but I don't got a good timeline for this. The amount of projects that are being worked on by big publishers has diminished so much that even like that has become a problem, where it's there is just no jobs for it. Like there is not. You could spin up a new studio back in the day and make like a couple $100,000 game, $1 million game over the course of a year and a half, and put that out to like Xbox, and you might see some return and then move on to a new game. Like it's very like a contractor based gig work almost, but like at least there were studios that you could hop in if things were tight. And
there were mobile games. That was another thing, is you could always just be a bedroom developer of a mobile game, sell it for 99 cents, and you could actually make a living doing that.
I hate using Concord as kind of a derogatory term. Partly because like
use it. Lean in.
I understand where you're coming from, but part of that comes from I saw the discourse around it, and I really hated the tone that took. So like there's a part of me that hates being like, oh, this is going to be another Concord, because of the people who shat on Concord when it came out.
Because most of the people that shit on the game were doing so in bad faith of like, this is a woke game.
Yes. Yeah. And so like I hate to enforce that attitude because Concord had systemic problems in the game. Like, again, when I saw Concord play at the other word show, once again, I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is going to flop. This is going to do terrible. Not because of any of the like woke nonsense shit, but because it was uninspired. There wasn't a lot going on.
Yeah.
We are post-Concord world. Like, no one wants to be a Concord. Concord didn't think they were going to be a Concord. You should have moderate expectations about what you're producing, especially if you're trying to get into that kind of hero shooter live service genre.
Yeah.
With a publisher, I can be like, okay, like Sony, all the shit Sony's doing. I can blame Sony for having stupid money sign eyes about live service. Wildlight, this was just on you. You maybe you had investors, maybe they didn't, but like, damn it, just do better. Like, please. I hate this. I hate that so many man hours and like the loss that is the effort, the human effort that goes into something like High Guard. And it's kind of a tragedy.
Yeah.
Because they could have been working on different games that might have long-lasting legacies, or just games
or
they
just
enjoyed.
kept working on this game.
Yes.
Just have moderate expectations and let it keep going. Like I mentioned, Fragpunk. Fragpunk is still going. They haven't.
Yeah.
That studio hasn't laid off half its staff, majority of its staff, because it seems like they understood it's a niche game.
Anyways, that's all for me. I just realized I had deeper feelings of this other than, oh, another one down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe this hits differently because I loved Evolve back in 2013, and like this
Evolve
wasn't
was interesting.
Evolve.
Evolve was like, Evolve was like kind of Concord before Concord.
You know, I still have an Evolve scarf that I bought for you, Chaos, at PAX.
I
all
still
those
love that
years
game.
ago.
I never
should
stopped
gotta
loving
send
that
it
game.
to him.
I should send it. Yeah, because I'm going to be cleaning out my house and I know I have that Evolve scarf.
And that also had other fantastic problems like microtransactions before that became like super popular.
Yeah, but I
And-
remember playing it and enjoying it. I got a Wii U out of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that really helps. Now he's
But
the
it
only
was
person
a
with
good
a
game.
Wii U.
I loved the game until they made balancing changes to it, and that kind of broke the game, and they kind of futzed with it, and when they futzed a bit too much, that's when I kind of like
Sure.
failed.
And I mean, you kind of, we don't need to talk about a 13-year-old game. We're not going to get into this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a Gym Nation. I forget what their channel was.
Jimquisition.
Jimquisition.
Oh, Jimquisition, yeah.
They did a pretty good
Jim
workup
Sterling.
that covers most of it. If
Stephanie
you
Yeah,
Sterling.
I remember when they were I remember those videos. Yeah.
They got most of it right, and in retrospect, there's bigger problems.
AC Ray says, which house? The scarf logo should not be written in dust and rat turds. It is in the dust and rat turd house, but it was in my bedroom, not the
Hey,
kitchen, which became
Edie.
dust and rat turd.
Well,
I don't think I
wash
need
it.
this.
Wash
And
it
it's in-
before you send it
It's
to
in,
him.
no, it's in plastic. It's never been touched. It's fine. It's in my bedroom. It's fine. It's in a closet.
With the rats.
Yeah. I
Oh,
kind of wished High Guard the best. Like, I wanted it to do better than the shit it was getting. That's all.
Yeah.
Not because I played it or anything, but just
Yeah, you want games to succeed. You want things to do good.
yes,
It's just go, people.
kind of, yeah.
Go. Yay.
all right. So now let's get to the Sony State of Play.
Let's go to good things
Yeah.
because it was actually really good.
Yes. I thought they showed off a lot of really impressive stuff that got me really excited for the
I
year.
haven't watched it. All I know is I was at work and I looked down at my
Yes.
phone
Cock
and
of
there
war.
were 97 unread
Oh,
texts.
Did you go through them at all?
I just looked like, oh my God, what the fuck is happening? Set 97 texts, and I look and it's like it's Nick and Chaos talking about the State of Play.
Yeah,
Um,
we were
we even
texting
talked
through
about
it.
you doing just that thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't
Yep.
read them all. I
Um,
couldn't.
We're going to jump into the middle of the thing really quick because I want to bring up the joke. There was a game called it's based
Oh.
off of a Chinese novel, Project Windless.
Yes, I can get
No, no,
this
no, no,
up.
no. You got it. All
Nope.
right.
I got this. I'm on top of it.
So me and Nick were messaging. I was watching it after he had watched it, so I was responding to everything in real time for me.
Mm,
Um,
Hold on a second.
oh, that is
Nope, that is not.
that's
Sorry.
Megabunk.
Hey,
I was
Oh wait, I have it playing. I'm adding it. No, Edie, move.
a little
add.
context for this. A year ago, me and Nick were
Add.
chatting during the Game Awards show,
There we go.
and Edie was like, "Shut the fuck up! Send this to a different chat because I am driving and my car won't shut up." And so, of course, we did it that time, but I don't listen because I don't know how to listen. So, during this word show, like Edie wasn't responding to the 97 texts that we sent, and we made the joke that she's in a meeting and there's this game that came out where it's a giant chicken
Yep.
and it looks like
This
kind of a mix between good.
this guy right here. This big old muscle rooster guy.
Project Windless is based off of a Korean novel, The Bird That Drinks Tears. The gameplay to me looks like Dynasty Warriors, but Nick had brought up that a streamer who was watching it said it was like God of War, which you can see because there's a lot of like fancy execution kills, and he had called it Cock of War.
Yeah, this streamer did. I can't take credit for that. They were calling it Cock of War.
So the joke was that Edie was in a meeting with the soon-to-be mayor of San Francisco, and all she gets is like a message like, "Oh no, what's happening?" And looks down and just sees "Cock of War" on her text message, like phone in this middle of this meeting, and just be like, "Oh, never mind, it's just those assholes."
No, but what I wasn't in a meeting. I was at work working on, like something that was
Adult
very
things.
intensive. I have an Apple Watch. Do you know what happens?
Yeah, buzzes.
Yeah. It was just blur, 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 the whole time. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, what's going on? I'm like, Nick Andrew. Fuck.
So we were not far off.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
But like all that said, Cock of War actually does look kind of fun.
It does.
It looks interesting.
I would play this game.
I'm interested to see where this was a shock. I did not expect a giant chicken to stand up
Mhm.
and then give me Dynasty Warrior vibes. That was interesting.
That's a game that could go either way. It could be really awesome. It could be like very mid, but I'm just excited to see where it goes because it looks weird and I like the weird shit.
All
That's
right.
one of
What else did they show?
Yeah, okay. Let me scroll to the top of this PlayStation blog. More 007 stuff. 007 First Light, which I'm kind of mixed on. I don't know. What do you think, Andrew? Are you excited for this?
Before I get into that, I do want to add one more thing for
Make
the
it
show
full
overall.
screen, Nick.
Oh, I was gonna move on kind of quick, so
Oh,
I was
okay.
just doing the brief part.
I don't feel like they showed a lot of new things here, or there wasn't a lot of like new things announced necessarily. It just reinforced that this is going to be a good year. So like when
Yes.
people ask what was there, I find it hard to be like, oh, it's this thing. This is the hype thing. Whereas more, it was just a really well put together show.
Yeah.
007. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go on.
Just to move on to like the 007. It looks good. Like this is a game I would love to pick up. This sounds bad, but for like $20. I could spend like a week playing this and having a good time. It seems like that kind of game. And I don't
Which,
feel
funny
like
enough,
it's-
I feel like that's what all the Bond games have been.
I think that's a perfect genre to like a perfect like selling point for it. Like, hey, play this fun action game that you're going to enjoy for a week and then move on back to like whatever you normally
Yeah,
play.
play this for a weekend. Because like a Bond, there's not a Bond TV show. They're movies. You go in, you have some espionage action fun, and then you leave.
If you want more of this, go back to Hitman afterwards.
Mhm.
Like, but it looks high quality. It's made by like the studio who made Hitman, the most recent ones. It looks like a good time, to be honest. And I've always like I played some of the Bond games early on in my life. they were always great, like shortish experiences.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that's kind of my take.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Four Loop? Speaking of multiplayer games,
Oh, do you
Of,
have an
like-
opinion of 007 ED?
No,
Okay, sorry, Nick.
not gonna play it.
I love Bond, and I'm like, I'm interested, but not like I'm gonna go
Yeah.
out and play it. There's a lot of other things coming out the first half of this year that I'm
Mhm.
really excited for, and
That 100%. If that was the only game that was coming out right around that time, but there are so many other things that I am already in the mindset for. I don't see myself playing it, but
yeah,
I
okay.
can
I'm
kind of
see-
a-
it looks fine. It looks
One last
fine.
comment. I hate this, but I feel like it'd be a perfect Game Pass game.
yeah,
like,
yeah. I'm with you.
Just really high quality first person or like first party game. I guess not first party, but like AAA budget game would
Mhm.
be great. Anyways, go ahead.
I'm just gonna scroll past stuff, and if you want to talk about it, you can, because there's a lot that was showing off. Four Loop, the multiplayer game from J.J. Abrams, Bad Robot.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about this.
Okay.
Half the studio who made Left 4 Dead. The other half is Turtle Rock now. 4-player co-op, really leaning into once again the 4 from like Left 4 Dead. Looks fun. The trailer showed some interesting problems with like frame rate and stuff. Visually, I like it, but it is a very like muted game. It doesn't look like it has much like distinct style.
It's going for the PlayStation realistic aesthetic, like
Yes.
Uncharted, like Last of Us, like Infamous, like God of War, like Horizon.
And
looks
on
like
the
that.
screen, there's this jetpack that they're lifting into the air that plays at like 15 frames a second, and it's like you shouldn't have shown that. Like, don't put that in your trailer reel. I think the big things here are going to be it looks sort of a roguelike with a lot of like buffs and stuff as you play through it.
Yeah,
Even the map had this like if you've ever played Slay the Spire or any kind of those games, it had this kind of roguelike map that you're going to do different objectives on. Could be great. Honestly, it depends how well it runs and the build craft in it. If those are good, I think getting 3 buddies together and playing this could be a great time, and I'm kind of looking forward to it.
yeah. And I think like to go back to a conversation about High Guard, I think it works that it's not a hero shooter.
Yes, I agree. I signed up for the email list to see if I can get in on the closed beta. Maybe someday I'll have more to talk about.
I forgot to do that. I gotta do
Maybe illegally. I don't know if there'll be an NDA.
that. Oh well, I mean, I can at the end of this podcast, I'll talk about some
Number 4,
extra legal
Loop.
stuff.
AC Wraith.
So this is the one game that I am absolutely hoping bombs and is
Oh,
the worst
wait.
game ever.
Beast
4
and
Loop?
Reincarnation or 4 Loop?
4 Loop.
Oh,
Why?
really?
J.J. Abrams is a consummate douchebag.
Okay.
Okay, but in the defense of the game, do you want like all of those people to have a shit game who work there?
Yes, I want J.J. Abrams
But
to
like, it's not
die
even
in
him.
a fire.
It's just Bad Robot. It's just his
it's
production company.
and
It's
then
not
a
even
dev,
him.
dev
I
studio.
want anything that J.J. Abrams is involved with to die in a fire. And I say that
Really?
he's a shit person because he is a shit person to me and my family personally.
Oof.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Well, okay. Edie's not.
J.J. Abrams is
Abrams.
a terrible person to work with. He is a terrible person to work around. And he is a perfect example of a shitty person that has reached the top pinnacle, and everybody's afraid to say what a horrible person he is.
Edie will
So
be
I
joining
hope
us
it's
in
the
4 Loop.
worst.
Yes, it'll just be you and me in 4
I will
Loop.
absolutely not be joining you in 4 Loop. I hope it tanks.
Okay. So, speaking of,
I hope it gets a high guard plus control. I hope it gets all of the bad treatment.
It's
Wow.
a whole new studio, Edie.
Wow. Just all we're here talking about. Yeah, man, it's tough out there for live service. Everyone's getting laid off. All the toxic
I will be
streamer culture,
dancing on
and
the
here
grave
Edie,
of
Edie just
everyone involved in that.
embracing all of it, all the toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
Beast of Reincarnation. What do you think about that?
Looks interesting. I don't really know what to make of it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's from the Pokemon guys, and so I don't. It's third person action game, kind of Souls likey boss fights, but with a wolf as your companion. Yeah, I have no
Yeah.
idea what to make of this.
Honestly, it's good to see them getting the chance to make something not Pokemon. This
Yes,
is
that's true. That is true.
a wider hit than I would have guessed, like a wider swing than I would have guessed they would have pivoted from. Honestly, if it runs well, it looks pretty good. I have no complaints about it. But judging from what I've seen, I actually don't really. I haven't looked into it, so only hit shows.
AC Ray says no more shit show. No more shit shows now. Only hit shows.
I just don't know what they're trying to do. Maybe it's a story-based game, which is gonna be good. It looks good.
I assume that's what it is.
Yeah.
It looks like a single player story based action game.
I hope it does well. Not just for positivity, but it looks
Back
good.
it up just a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, Brigadine Abyss, the tactics game. Castlevania. This was we had talked about Konami kind of coming back to gaming in a big way with a bunch of Silent Hill stuff and a new Castlevania by the Dead Cell people.
And then a bunch of like remakes that are in the works.
Yeah.
It looks like. This actually looked way better than I was anticipating.
Yes, and what actually makes me excited about this is I wanted to like Dead Cells, but I just couldn't get past the roguelike of it all. I thought it was a great game to play, but I just got bored playing the same beginning area over and over and over again. So to have like a single player proper big expansive castle with those controls from that developer, that actually makes me really excited.
The studio behind it, I forget their name. Twin Motion?
Evil, oh yeah.
Or Motion Twin.
Yes.
Oh, Evil Empire and Motion Twin. Okay.
I think
So-
one of them is just working on Dead Cells.
Yes, so the people who made this worked on all of the DLC for Dead Cells. They didn't work on the base game.
Okay, but that also includes the Castlevania DLC.
Yes, and I actually played Dead Cells, and initially I agreed with you, Nick. I eventually got over the hump, and I enjoyed it more.
Oh, good.
But I absolutely understand your feelings about that game. Side note, in the video playing, the whip just looks cool.
It does. This looks really fun.
So yes, they made all the DLC for Dead Cells, and they also made the Prince of Persia side-scrolling game, not the one
okay.
that's the Metrovania.
Yeah,
one
the
that-
Rogue.
Yeah, Rogue. And that, by all accounts, has really tight controls. It's really fun to play. So I have high hopes for this, and it looks great.
Yes.
A lot of people are saying that the presentation is a little weird. At least I saw like Skill Up was talking about it, where it doesn't exactly look gritty like a Castlevania game. I can forgive that if the gameplay and story's good.
Yeah, ditto.
Looking forward to it. Hope it does well.
Yeah, next one, Control Resonant. This is one I am legit excited.
So
for.
excited. This is a top one for me. Spectacle fighters are my jam, and I love Control and its weirdness.
And yeah, this looks like it has all the weirdness of Control, but with a third-person melee action game instead of a shooter.
I heard it described as spectacle fighter, and that seems accurate.
Yeah.
Easy.
I remember I had
Great.
said because previously we saw videos of a game called Tides of Annihilation where this lady like jumped on some sides of buildings and
Yes.
ran, and it was very Doctor Strange Mirror World-esque. This does a very similar thing where at one point he
Here in the video here in a second.
yeah, you jump and you switch on to another building. And so I'm calling it now. Real world gravity shifting is finally the gimmick of this generation of games.
Gravity Rush tried to do it first, but it never caught on.
Nope.
This is the year for it.
Yep.
As I was saying in our text thread, it used to be grappling hooks. We've moved on from grappling hooks to just defying reality, and I'm here
Yeah.
for it.
Oh, this
Yeah.
looks awesome. This
It-
truly looks awesome.
It's fantastic. It's also a huge, again, I keep saying this, but a huge swing from what they've done before. It looks so good.
Yeah. I'm psyched, and it's still got that control weirdness, that surrealism.
I'm wondering how they're going to do the story, because the main character is the brother from the first Control game, the one that was like almost an enemy. Who
Yeah,
had,
he was like
taken on the hits.
possessed by the evil entity.
Meant to be like a direct contrast to I forget her name. I'm terrible with names.
Oh, what was her name?
I can't
Anyways,
help you.
Oh,
I don't know how they bridge the gap and make this person essentially a hero for this one, or what that means. Like, I'm curious. Excited. That's all. 10 out of 10. Excitement, which means it's going to be terrible. Anytime I'm
Probably.
excited about a game, it goes
Jesse
bad.
Faden.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, if I want, was it 4 loop to loop, I should just buy the collector's edition, shouldn't I?
That's true.
Do it.
Crimson Moon. I kind of remember that one. Darwin's Paradox, like a platformer. Dead or
Crimson
Alive.
Moon. I want to talk about that really quick.
Okay.
I like the idea of, so it's, I don't know how to describe this. It looks like a co-op game.
It looks
Where
like a mix between a third-person Doom-like.
Kind of,
Ooh.
it's another like action combat.
Yeah.
Where you play as this half angel, half human, I assume. And I don't really know much about the story beyond that, but it's very gothic. It's very
Very
medieval.
metal.
Yeah.
That's what made me think of Doom, is like, if you can hear the soundtrack, it's got real heavy guitar riffs going in the background.
There seems to be some God of War vibes with like the fancy executions and stuff. Could be great. I love co-op action games. My biggest worry about this, and one I think they need to work on, watching the trailer, you're this tank of a person, right? And there are times when like they hit enemies in the game and there's like no feedback. They just kind of hyper armor, no flinching, take it. And so that's not necessarily like a red flag, but kind of a yellow one, that I'm a little worried that this is going to be a little unpolished.
Yeah, this looks like an old school PS3 era hack and slash.
Yes, that's
and not.
exactly right.
I don't mean that as a insult.
I'm interested in this one. Again, I love good co-op games, so.
AC Ray says, "Man, I love a good third-person Doom. My Sim's sick, but could actually play Doom again."
Yeah. Darwin's Paradox had like a cute parody of Metal Gear, Dead or Alive, Death Stranding 2 to PC. So this is they closed it out talking about a remake of the original God of War trilogy. They didn't actually have anything to show for it, and in fact, they explicitly mentioned, we kind of just started on this, and so we won't have anything to show for a while, but when we come back, we'll have something to show. But it was mainly just an announcement that they're working on remaking the God of War trilogy, and that it will be all 3 games, I assume, in the same package. So they're not going to make you rebuy all 3 games again, which is at least nice.
Yes. And the person who was announcing this was T.C. Carlson, who was the original.
Yeah. The original voice actor of Kratos.
Very charming man. If you watch that dude has a lot of charisma.
Yeah.
But,
here he is.
Yes. You can't hear his voice.
I like him. Oh, you
No.
can't?
No. You
That's
turn
fine.
it. You have to
Probably
turn it
shouldn't.
up.
I'm glad you're hanging out, and I want you to know, as we close out this last
Probably
few
shouldn't
months
do it
of the
too
God
long,
of War's
just so we don't get
20th
copyright.
anniversary, I'm
Um,
thrilled to bring you.
Yeah, he's
Great
cool.
guy. I'm glad to see him, because there was some drama when God of War, the new one, 2018, launched, and that they didn't call him at all or talk to him at all about like remaking the series, even though he was the primary voice lead for the initial series. And he was kind of mad about that. Part of the reason they did this was because they wanted whoever was going to be voice acting him, Christopher Judge, which I think did a great job, to also do the mocap for him. And T.C. Carlson does not have Carson does not have the physicality that like Judge brought to the.
He's older. He can't like go swinging a fake sword around.
It's more about the size of the character.
Yeah, that's
like
yeah.
And there was some hurt feelings that he didn't even get talked to about like this project being made, and not that he was necessarily like warranted that to happen. I know there was some back and forth that just he never returned to the series. And I think he returns to the 2018 or Ragnarok, in the case of Ragnarok, in the Valhalla DLC. So I'm guessing some fences have been mended, and it's good to see him back.
Yeah. Okay, then they announced that the multiplayer for Ghost of Yotai is coming out in March.
Looks fun. Looks great.
Yep, looks like what you would expect. Let me jump ahead, skip all the story stuff. There we go. Let's just get to the action.
Looks like they expanded upon the original premise of the multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
In every way, using the new weapons and stuff from Yotai. Hope it comes to PC.
I'm excited for this. I hope this might play better than what I thought Yotai played like. I just couldn't get into that combat. But I remember the multiplayer for Tsushima played very differently than the single player.
Yeah, there was a lot more emphasis on like RPG like abilities and such.
Yeah.
Yeah, excited.
And this is just an announcement.
Also, it's free.
They're working on it. Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's going to be free for anyone who owns the game.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
This is just a CG trailer for a John Wick game. And it looks to be like
an
actual
I know about John Wick because that's when my watch really started to blow up.
Well, it looks like it's an actual proper like 3D action game and not the turn-based game. Even though I liked that turn-based game.
That's a choice.
Yes, it was a choice. And this looks like it is much more in the vein of like, look, you're going to beat the shit out of some people.
There's about like 10 seconds of actual gameplay rendered.
I don't think there's any gameplay.
Yeah, at the end.
Oh, okay, yes, there's some gameplay here.
But you don't really. It doesn't show much. It's basically the trailers, but like
yeah, but we had talked about the way he bashes people against the wall. It looks like Sleeping Dogs.
Sleeping Dogs is a older game for the younger listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Which, like, oh man, you gotta play. Oh, I should go back and play Sleeping Dogs again. That game is so good.
It's a little rough now. I tried.
It is, but like I remember those executions.
Yeah. So Sleeping Dogs was a action kind of open world game where you played a undercover cop trying to take down like the Yakuza. I think so.
Yeah, some sort of crime.
Very John Woo like esque movie essentially, with an emphasis on like using your environment in your like martial arts fighting to like do kills or knockouts and stuff like pushing somebody into a meat hook or throwing them into like a furnace, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And John Wick looks like a spiritual successor to that with like what they were showing. And I'm kind of excited if they took that DNA and put it into a John Wick game, it would be perfect.
Unfortunately, we didn't get a date. We didn't even get like a year, just a wish list now. So whatever it will be, we won't find out anytime soon. And then a sequel to Kenna, which is kind of nice because that was a third-person, like family-friendly action game that came out a couple years ago that apparently did well enough to get a sequel, and that's nice to see because a lot of games like that don't.
I was actually considering picking up the first one on Steam because when I first saw it years ago, I liked what I saw. I heard so the people who made it were an animation studio before they became a game studio. So the presentation of the game is
you can see
animator level quality.
Yeah.
But like the mechanics in the game were a little lackluster for the first one. And that was like the biggest complaint. So I kind of skipped it, but I'd love to go back to it because the presentation looks amazing, and this is more of that. And the animation looks great. The environments look great. They've expanded upon the combat. In the trailer, they were just basically like, "You loved it, so we made more of it and made it better."
Yeah, maybe this will follow in the path of Assassin's Creed and Uncharted and other games where the sequel like expands on the premise of the first game in a way that kind of becomes a classic.
Genuinely, watching the trailer, there are bits that look stunning. Like, there's a moment where you walk into this town that's overgrown with like trees and really like built into the forest. I'm like, that looks amazing. I'm kind of excited for it. Again, positivity here. I'm excited for everything. That's what I meant by this was a good state of play. It made me excited for this year in gaming.
Yeah, that looked good. And even the stuff I'm skipping over, like I'm just skipping over it because there's not a whole lot to say. Yeah,
Death
Legacy
Stranding 2.
of Kain, Defiance. It's like, okay, a remaster of that. Marathon. I would love this game if it had a single player campaign, because this trailer like has some real sci-fi horror vibes.
You've gotten like really.
That's because yeah, you need to mute your YouTube.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
I want to get some sound in, but
no, I've got it muted on our end, so
okay.
It's not coming over.
It's got some real good fucked up horror vibes to it that I dig so much. This neon horror. I love this aesthetic, but it's a fucking extraction shooter.
Whoever put this game together, like this trailer together, needs to make movies because like they did such an amazing job. However, I was watching it and I was like, this is not the game I have been seeing. This is straight horror vibes. The dialogue is like, I'm basically praying for help. Everyone's dead. We don't know what to do.
It feels like Alien Isolation, right? Where you come into this sci-fi structure and you're like, something went wrong here. What happened?
And then you go play, you go watch gameplay, and it's not this. Like, it's not that vibe at all.
Which is so disappointing because this game I would play the shit out of.
So here's a question. Are you a little angry about the fact that you've got this game showing it being a completely different game than what you know it to actually be, or at least
not angry. It's a little like jarring
misleading.
From
yeah, it's eye rolling more than anything else.
Yeah, because I mean, the fun of an extraction shooter is almost like the emergent gameplay that comes from it. And even Tarkov, like there are tense, scary moments, but those are like natural human tension and not like horror vibes like this is. This almost seems like you could put a eldritch monster in like as the main bad guy to this trailer, and you'd be like, oh yeah, that fits. That seems like what they're saying.
Yeah, it's look in the corner. Marathon, Tau City 4, Escape will make me God. I would love to play that game. If anything, what makes me angry is that this is a multiplayer live service game and not a single player campaign. Because I feel like this could be a classic single player campaign.
Oh yeah. Speaking of though, Server Slam, the 26th of February to March 2nd. So
yeah,
it's going to be free to play on I think all consoles and PC. So if you want a chance to try it out before it launches in March,
I will definitely try it. I'll try anything for free.
Edie, do you want to try your first extraction shooter?
It's not my first extraction shooter.
Is it?
No, we played the Rainbow Six one.
Rainbow Six, yeah, Extraction.
Okay, that's.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna gatekeep a little. I'm gonna be that guy. Oh yeah, I play board games. I play checkers. Like.
What Rainbow Six Extraction is an extraction shooter.
It is, yeah. I'm with you. It's in the name.
It certainly is.
It's just not one of the big ones.
It's not right.
It's also structured drastically different than what the extraction shooter genre is.
Yes, which may be why I think we enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, I liked it.
I was a bit snooty there. My bad. I leaned into that.
Oh my God, Cat.
I'm flipping you off too, Edie. You just can't see.
Tonkin Fighting Souls looks neat. I'd watch people play it. Not interested in playing it. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2.
Yes.
The biggest news of which is that Metal Gear Solid 4 is finally available on a console, not the PlayStation 3.
Yes. It'll be coming to PlayStation 5 and PC.
Yep, it is finally
August
broken
27th.
free from that prison.
The collection comes with Metal Gear Solid 4 and Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, and I think Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel, which I know nothing about.
I don't even know that one.
I loved Metal Gear Solid 4. The first night I played it, the game was like, "Hey, you've been playing for 6 hours straight. Do you want to take a break?" And one of the loading screens.
Yeah, I
I
remember really enjoying it when it came out.
I'm curious if how they solve this, because notoriously porting something from PS3 has been hard for most games, just because of the architecture of the PS3. If performance has just gotten to the point that they can just emulate a PS3 and let you play this game essentially with some tweaks.
I think they probably have. I mean, I assume that they've probably been working on this for a while. This is also one of the examples of Konami getting back into gaming in a big way.
And not to undersell Peace Walker, well, I never played it. It came out for console and handheld, and it's widely considered one of the best entries.
Yeah, I haven't played it either.
But yeah, it's considered great. So this looks good.
Yeah.
Excited for it for the 15th time.
Mina the Hollower from the developers of Shovel Knight, platformer. It's a DLC for Neva. Game catalog stuff, Pragmata, which I'm still really interested in. Project Windless, aka Cock of War.
Yes.
Rayman, that's Ubisoft, we can skip. Resident Evil just looks fucking sick as hell.
I've been trying to play through 7, and I'm going to play through 8, because I kind of want to play Requiem.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't need to play through those games to get this one. I don't think the story will really follow it. 7 and 8 are like a duology side story.
Yeah, and like that, it's more of just a completionist in me who wants to like play them before I get into like the newest title.
Which, hey, I'm all for. I Resident Evil. They had a little bit of tough spot there in the 2000s, like with Resident Evil 4. No, Resident Evil 5 and 6 and Revelations were all kind of like mid, but lately it has been hitting on all cylinders.
Yes, and also they're remaking 5. This wasn't announced in the state of play, but
yeah, that's just extra information.
Yes. I keep interrupting you. My bad, Nick.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. Like, yeah, it's got all the action that you expect from having Leon in there.
So something I know about the game is you have 2 protagonists. You have the FBI woman who I forget her name, and then of course Leon, who can forget Leon.
Forget her name too. It's not.
You know?
Whatever. No,
okay, well,
it slipped my mind.
If you play the woman, she is a first-person horror perspective, kind of like Resident Evil 7 or 8. If you play Leon, it is going to be third-person action game that's going to play more like Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, you can see some bits of that here when he's like saving civilians.
So you're going to be sneaking around, like trying to hide, and then you're just going to bust in as Leon and like start fighting everything and doing roundhouse kicks at 50. He's looking kind of old in this one.
I read an article that a bunch of the women at Capcom like had input into how he was designed in order to make him look like a hot uncle. Like, no, we need to keep him a hot uncle. Let's see, Rev Noir. I don't even know what that is.
It's a new IP JRPG from Konami.
Okay.
It's brand new.
Fuck Konami. Had to be said.
I mean,
they
yeah,
do good.
Yes, but like also Konami's come back in a big way with some really kick-ass stuff.
It's good to see new IP, and that's what this is. Rev.
Yeah.
Noir. It's
Okay,
just brand new.
Know much about it. Soros is my kind of shit. I'm very excited for this. I love Returnal, and one of the things I loved about Returnal was the like batshit crazy cosmic horror aesthetic that it had, and this is leaning into that, where like a big part of the aesthetic is the eclipse, and apparently that's even a gameplay mechanic where you can trigger the eclipse at any time to like change the world and enter a fight. So it's not just a thing that happens, it is like a mechanic in the game.
So Returnal, I also loved the vibe. I love the graphics and like the aesthetic. My biggest complaint so far from watching gameplay of Saros is it looks too much like Returnal. Like,
But you know what? I
it
think
almost
I'm
looks like
okay
a
with
direct sequel.
I think I'm okay with that because nothing is like Returnal.
And that's like that's a nitpick. But this looks like they just made like a DLC to Returnal, to be fair. And that's my only issue. It doesn't seem like it has a distinctive style for its own game.
Yeah.
That is such a bitchy nitpick though. Don't listen to me.
I mean, that's okay. I'm very excited for Saros. And then they showed off Silent Hill Townfall. Again, continuing Konami's renaissance. This looks like it's a first-person Silent Hill set in the UK. Oh, come on, let me jump ahead to some gameplay. Yeah. Made in conjunction with Annapurna, of all things, too. And yeah, I thought Silent Hill F was really good. I really dig this expansion of Silent Hill into like other countries.
Looks like they're going for atmosphere. Like Silent Hill's always needed a lot of atmosphere. They look like they're nailing a specific like design with this. And they seem to be like doing callbacks to 2 with the fog, and look at that. Like in the trailer there's this red ocean and it just looks so menacing.
And it's coming this year, which is crazy because F came out last year. So they're pumping that stuff out. Galactic Racer.
I loved pod racing.
Yeah, it seemed neat.
I played the 64 version of like Star Wars pod racing.
And isn't that being made by the same people that made what, F1?
F1?
I don't know. It's made by the company that makes racing games. Normally make racing games.
I don't know. It just said Lucasfilms.
Lucasfilms is obviously the publisher, but
it's a new studio founded by former Criterion developers, known for the work on Need for Speed and Burnout.
That's it. Yep.
But honestly, see, like the problem with that is now I want destructible pod racers, and if you don't give me pod racers that blow up like Burnout cars,
look at that! There you go.
That was not the level of Burnout.
I
want to see them shatter like glass. I want to see shrapnel. I want to see doors flying off.
Honestly, this looks great.
This looks great. I'm into this. I remember when we saw this at on the Games Awards, and I like lit up when it's like somebody's doing pod racing and it's being made by the guys that do Need for Speed.
That was pretty cool.
Yes,
kind of cool.
Yes.
Burnout is a fantastic choice for devs to like who worked on that game to work on this. One of the things that made the pod racing scene in 1 so good despite the rest of the movie was the fact that when a pod racer like tore apart, it was crazy visceral. And yeah, it looks cool. I have to say, like the movies, the TV shows to an extent, it's been kind of a bad time to be a Star Wars fan. Gaming, I don't know what like document they put out, but they have been nailing Star Wars vibes. Even the Star Wars Outlaws, which like has its problems with its gameplay, environmentally is an amazingly like flushed out Star Wars world. And this looks to be in line with that.
Yeah, ever since they broke away from EA, they've been doing a lot better job. And then Yakko Shinobi Ops, which I'm excited for because it looks like a little bit of this old PS2 game called Oh god, I can't believe I forget the name. But then there was like a shadow operations, shadow something, which is like a top-down stealth game that came out several years ago. That was really cool. There's a lot of this game that's like speaking to me, so I'm excited for it. But it's a top-down ninja stealth game.
Were you thinking like Tenchu?
Tenchu, that's what it was. Yes.
Yeah. To me, it looked like it's isometric where you're sneaking around like a castle, and so it reminds me of that tactics game like Shadow of the Shogun or whatever. I
Yeah.
forget the name of it.
Oh, what was? I think we're thinking of the same game.
Yeah. Anyways, it
Stealth.
looks interesting. I think this is very a niche offering for a select few people, but honestly, I like to see it. I'm excited. You should
What
just
was
change
the
that
n-
to my sub thing.
What was the
Edie.
name of that fucking game? Okay, Desperados 3. I think that was Me Games. What else did they make? Shadow Tactics.
Shadow Tactics, yeah.
Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun. That is an excellent stealth game. And it looks
seems
like
to be
that.
kind of
And then they ended with the shadow drop of God of War, Son of Sparta, which is a 2D Metroidvania God of War game.
Yeah, it's a prequel to the main series.
Yeah, come on. Stop showing me people and show me gameplay. Oh my god. Stop showing me people. Show me gameplay. Jesus Christ.
This is why you can't go to those things.
There you go.
Gotta go to the trailers. No,
This is the trailer. This
No,
is the only
that's not
trailer
the
that
trailer.
exists.
I doubt that. Let me see. What's it
not,
called?
Sons of Sparta.
not usually my kind of game, but honestly looks good.
Yeah, it seems neat. I think I saw one review that was like it's tough to stand out. I'm intrigued by like the pixel art for it because usually God of War doesn't do that.
No, but I think it's actually a great idea for a young Kratos like prequel if you were
Yeah,
going to make that.
And it's super colorful. It almost looks like a SNES game.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
why you
yes.
cannot go to those pages for that kind of stuff. Let me show you why.
Okay. AC Wraith is reasonably crashing out because while they weren't my games, they did announce that they're remaking the
The Legacy of Kain.
Kains.
I did kind of skip over that because it wasn't my game, but yeah, they're also remaking they're remaking Legacy of Kain Defiance. They already remade the Soul Reaver games. Those came out last year.
Remastered. I apologize.
Yeah.
So not exactly a remake, but higher textures, like better frame rates, bringing it to more systems. And then there's also the other Legacy of Kain game that's coming out. That's like Aftermath or something. That's also another side-scrolling pixel art kind of game.
But I believe that one's a new game in the series, not a remaster.
That other one is brand new in the
Yeah.
series. It's just its own new entry into the Legacy of Kain series, and it's also a Metrovania.
Yeah, this looks cool. I might have to look deeper into that. And that was-
Go ahead.
I was just gonna wrap things up. That was the state of play.
Most of what they showed is going to be available this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is why you have to look up the trailers and just don't go to the presentations.
I thought that it would have a trailer.
Oh, those pages never do.
Nothing crazy like stand out in that like, ooh, I want to scream this from like the hilltops, but enough that like I'm
But all
actually
solid.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm amped for this year.
Ironically,
Loop,
has
best game-
the
game of the year.
industry like implodes and destroys itself, it's a great time to be a gamer.
Yeah.
Yes. Hopefully they'll be optimized because no one can get RAM.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, that's I know that they're having some of them are going to be having conversations. As you were mentioning, which is the one that you said reminded you of Returnal?
Soros.
Soros.
That just reminded me. Like that
It
same
made
studio.
me think, like, ooh, I wonder if they're also like thinking about optimization.
Returnal ran actually surprisingly well on PC, and of course it was made for PS5 where it ran 60. It ran flawlessly. I'd be pretty shocked if Saros comes out like unoptimized.
Yeah, and like that was back when Sony was like really hesitant to put things out on PC. So I think now that they're much more willing to do that, it'll still be
Mhm.
like 6 months to a year before it comes to PC.
Yes.
But when it does, it will probably not take 32 gigs of RAM.
All right. So, I think that I see a bunch of stuff here, Nick.
I've got a couple other things, but we can talk about them later.
No. You cannot talk for an hour and 20 minutes on State of Play and expect to do anything else.
Like I said, we can do that later. I
That's
understand.
why I
Do it-
wanted to
do it
end on
next
this,
week.
by the way.
Yes.
Yes.
But I will end on something that is timely, and I don't want to make it wait, and it's going to be sad, unfortunately. Although I
were just
really,
talking
really
about
want to
fun
talk about
games.
this one, the Expedition 33 art book that got seized by Iraqi antiquity police. That one was awesome, but we'll hold that for next week. But the father of the Dreamcast, Hideki Sato, passed away on Friday, day before yesterday, at age 77. Which is, I mean, you can't not mention that him. He is incredibly important to all gaming. In fact, he joined Sega in 1971. He was involved in the original SG series and the Master System. And in 89, he was promoted to the director of Sega's research and development department. And his team at that point were told to take down Nintendo. And so, because, Nintendo had come out, Sega Master System was out, Nintendo came out, absolutely destroyed it, and they're like, get them back. So he went in and he created the Mega Drive, which was known as the Genesis here. So he created the Sony, the Sega Genesis. Even though they had a 2-year, and they did have a 2-year head start on Super Nintendo, the console was a massive hit before the debut of Sonic the Hedgehog. So he oversaw all of Sega's classic systems. The Genesis made Sega a household name. In fact, I see this article, obituary saying he's showing off what they did that Nintendo don't.
Yeah, the classic advertising.
Yep.
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Yep. And he was also involved with the Sega Saturn, which was kind of mind-blowing in that it did dedicated 3D as a CD-based console. And then the Sega Swan Song, their Dreamcast, being the beloved underdog that what it was.
The reason the Dreamcast failed was it encountered modern piracy.
Mm-hmm.
It did not have very many piracy protections, and I know this because after it kind of bombed, I bought a Dreamcast for $50, and knowing I'm gonna pirate all the games, I got a console for the price of a game.
Mm-hmm.
And because you could just burn a CD-ROM and stick it in the Dreamcast to play a game, like there's no protection.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so it's sad that we lost him, but he changed the world, a lot of worlds in many ways,
Yeah.
and he lived a full life and did amazing things. So goodbye, Hideki Sato. I don't think we will see your likes again. So I had to wait. Couldn't not mention that this week.
Yeah.
All right. So anything else before we close out this incredibly long show? Oh my
Are
God.
you glad I'm
There's
here?
so much editing on this show.
There's
Are
a
you glad
lot
I
of
showed up, Edie?
news. There's a lot of news.
I am glad you showed up, but yeah, I'm going to have to be editing this down, the audio show down a lot.
You
So
may have to be
if you
thinking
are
about
listening,
fighting me next week.
if you are listening to this show as a podcast, I want you to know that this show is like probably twice as long that we did live. So you need to come and watch us live on Sundays at 2 p.m. Pacific, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, so that you can actually hear everything that we said.
So I would just like to end. I'll bring it full circle. Segue. After we were talking about SSX, I was like, I can't emulate the 360, but I Googled SSX ROM, found a PS3 ROM, and may have downloaded the ROM and a PS3 emulator.
All right.
In like the 10 minutes that it took us to talk about SSX.
We see that Nick's criminal streak did not end at the Dreamcast.
Yeah, clearly.
Oh God, no.
Clearly.
God, no.
You ever hear those like stories of stupid criminals, the ones that filmed themselves committing murder or doing the, like show the guns and all the drugs and
Yeah.
put it on social media?
Hey,
That guy right there.
I bought it for the 360 and I bought it again on the Xbox One because it didn't register that I had bought it for the 360 because I bought it on a disc and not digital. I bought that fucking game twice. I own that shit.
Okay. All right. That's true.
I own that shit.
That is the point of ROMs, is that you're supposed to be able to digitally back up, your stuff.
Mhm.
That's the
To quote
reason why
Nick
MP3s exist.
To quote Nick DiNicola, fuck the police. I do what I want.
Fuck the police. I own that shit.
Hey, shut up about my redacted. Leave my redacted alone.
Is your
It's
redacted
there.
still safe?
My redacted is still there.
Okay.
It's all good.
So
All right.
3 hours and 16 minutes. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah. So this week I am off work. So I'm hoping to actually have some time to be really doing some gaming. I'm going to be painting, and like I said, might be doing a day trip up to the Jelly Belly factory tour.
That's a nice day trip.
Yeah. $8. Hey, if you are in the San Francisco Bay Area, one of the more underrated, I've never been, but I've heard a lot of people that have done it. If you're in the Bay Area, one of the most underrated things that you can do that's a great value is about 45 minutes, an hour out of San Francisco is Fairfield. And Fairfield has the Jelly Belly factory, and right next to it is the Budweiser factory. Both of them offer tours. I don't know what the Budweiser is. I think the Budweiser is like 10 or 12 bucks, and the Jelly Belly factory tour is $8. You cannot have a day of fun cheaper than that. Nick with attitude. Yeah, the Budweiser Bitters Plus, it says, ooh,
yeah.
Budweisers. Yeah, the Bitters Plus factory tour is really, really, really interesting. It doesn't make Budweiser taste any better, but I have a little bit more respect for it. I would never drink it.
They go together.
Okay.
That's Return of Thursday, Nick.
Yeah, he's working on his Thursday Nick face. He's got serious stubble today. All right. So anything else before we close out this show, gentlemen?
Thanks for having me again.
Anytime. Actually, believe it or not, it is always a joy. So I'm just going to assume that you're going to be available. Don't
Look,
feel obligated.
Now that we started at noon, that just gives us more room to do 3-hour podcasts.
No, let's really not do 3-hour podcasts.
I want you to keep that attitude, Edie, when you're editing this podcast. I want you to keep that. I'm glad he was here. I'm always welcome. After your 6th hour of editing, you're interesting. Where I'm going to start cutting it is our lengthy discussion of AI, which may actually just disappear entirely.
But that was interesting.
It was interesting, and if you are listening on a podcast, don't you wish that you had gone to the, go watch that whole section on YouTube.
Just take that out and make that its own bonus podcast.
Ooh, and I could put it behind a paywall.
Yeah,
we don't.
We do this for the content.
Gross.
We do it for the content. In fact, take this whole episode, cut up each segment, has its own podcast.
I'd love you to make a short of our Discord section and then have you end it with, "Hey, join our Discord."
All right. Anyway, on that note, let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 809. We recorded this on Sunday, February 15th, 2026. By the way, happy Valentine's Day, both Nick, Andrew, and everybody else listening. Ways to get a hold of us. Gamehounds.net is our website. Gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. On Facebook and Twitch, we are the Gamehounds. On YouTube, we are Gamehounds Vids, VIDS, all one word, Gamehounds like in videos. Please come back if you are listening to this as a podcast and you want to hear the stuff that we had to be cut out to make the podcast not more than 3 hours long. You can go to any of those locations. And yes, if you would ever want to listen to us without having to look at us, just put it on the car, boot it up. You can do so. Apple's iTunes podcasts. We're right there, GameHounds. Also, you can find us on iHeartRadio. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us just about anywhere that you can listen to podcasts. Even say, hey, Google, play GameHounds podcast. We'll be there. So if you ever want to join our Discord, go to any of those locations that I mentioned, whether it be Apple iTunes, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. There's going to be a link to our Discord. That's a way to get a hold of us throughout the week. Nick and I hang out there. That's where a lot of people in the GameHounds community all sit there and chat. Also, most importantly, if you want to find out how to find cheap games, go to our Discord, because AC Wraith has a gaming deals channel, and it's always full of great games that have gone on sale. So go ahead and become a member of our community there. If you want to ever support us, $1 a month is all we ask. Patreon.com/GameHounds. Thank you to all of our patrons. They help pay for all of the subscriptions that we need to do our show. And thank you to all of you who reached out every month just for a little bit to keep us going. Nick, Andrew, have a great week. We will thank you for being on the show again, Andrew.
Yeah, that was fun.
All right. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.
I'm waving. Bye.
I didn't wait for 10. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here in the chat room. It was all good to have you. Bitters, talk to you later. There was a couple of other people that were new people. And AC Wraith, of course. Thank you for being here every week. Yeah, we might be able to stream something just because I don't have to go to sleep to be up early to go to work. But we'll see how it goes. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.